It's Wednesday, August 26th. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, New Brunswick's premier says Canada's trade war with the U.S. has not reached a point where her province would stop supplying electricity to Maine. Details just ahead in your news headlines.
And home standby generators. We'll chat with a man whose family has been in the business for years and why he feels Cummins is the best out there. A conversation at our 7 o'clock hour.
Plus, we are off to the Cape Breton Rodeo. Saddle up. We'll get the details on this year's exciting event. All that and so much more just ahead on the Wednesday edition of Your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning. Come on and join us Wednesday. 6:01 on Wednesday, August 26th. This is definitely the last Wednesday of August. Nearly done the month, but we're halfway through the week, which is great for people who love the weekend.
Yeah.
That's true, too. Getting things ready for back to school as well. Getting the students saying goodbye the last few days of summer, but holy macaroni. The weather yesterday was beautiful. The sunshine, the heat, just trying to soak up as many summer moments as we can.
Totally.
Absolutely.
You'd said it was going to get a bit clearer. It did. I was shocked, but it did. And I ended up meeting a friend over. I took the ferry over and met and had to walk along the water, or got to walk along the water for a little bit, and then met at a cafe. Oh my gosh, so nice to get out and enjoy. I just felt like I was a tourist.
Right? It's
Yeah.
so nice to explore your own city.
Yeah, I
Honestly.
know you do that a lot.
I do. I
Yeah.
try to do that as much as I can. And we are going to see much of the same. So another foggy start to the day for parts of the Maritime region. Still going to be a bit muggy into the afternoon for our daytime highs. Seasonal to above seasonal today. And we are going to see the return of sunshine, but also some pocket shower activity expected again to pop up. So here's a live look at Lunenburg to start your day. Still dark outside over in Blue Nose Drive. As of right now, it is 16 degrees as you head outdoors. Temperatures will continue to warm up a little bit later on. You will be seeing sunshine as well. But not as foggy as we saw yesterday over in Lunenburg. 17 degrees to start your day in Halifax. 18 this morning in Charlottetown. Cooler in Fredericton at 15 degrees, 10 degrees over in Labrador City, and 20 still remaining in St. John's, Newfoundland. So here's a look at our satellite and radar. We are going to see sunshine for parts of Atlantic Canada, but for the most part, Newfoundland, Labrador still dealing with a bit of wet weather, much lighter than we saw yesterday. And into today's forecast for the Maritime region, a low chance of showers and risk of thunderstorms returning for parts of the Maritime region at least. And in terms of our wind forecast, remaining light throughout the Maritimes. As of right now, 13 kilometers per hour in Moncton and Lunenburg, 11 into Halifax. No wind gusts to report at this time. We'll take a look at your midweek forecast just ahead, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thanks, Latavia. From makeup to smartphones and kitchen appliances, we now know how the federal government will hit back against new U.S. tariffs and how it plans to support businesses and workers.
Canada will match the United States tariffs dollar for dollar, rate for rate.
Canada's counter tariffs are targeting $27.6 billion worth of American imports. Some of the U.S. sectors targeted included steel and aluminum, seafood and dairy, consumer goods, plastics, paper and apparel. Electronics and appliances, along with agricultural equipment, are also on the list. The federal government also announced $7.5 billion in supports for Canadian workers and businesses that include expanding a number of federal loan and grant programs. Here in Atlantic Canada, New Brunswick's premier says she's still deciding the best course of action. Susan Holt says Canada's trade war with the U.S. has not reached a point where her province would stop supplying electricity to Maine.
Things would have to get really bad because that's an extremely serious measure to turn the power off to a community in northern Maine that have been our friends and neighbors for generations.
Instead, the whole government is considering other less severe options to respond to Trump's tariffs, everything from not allowing Americans to hunt for moose or fish salmon to no longer sending packaged lobster south of the border. Meanwhile, Holt says early estimates suggest 500 New Brunswick jobs alongside $112 million in New Brunswick goods will be impacted by U.S. tariffs. The province has set aside money for businesses that will feel the brunt of the tariffs. And the fallout from the expanding trade war has maritime businesses like Mrs. Dunster's in Sussex preparing for what may come next.
I've been down to Mexico a few times trying to open up some opportunities down there, and we're also always on the lookout for potential acquisition opportunities. So it's really not about shrinking our U.S. business, because our U.S. business is pretty robust right now, but it's really about making sure we're not overly dependent on it.
Moosehead Breweries in St. John's says the decision to target Canadian beer with a 50% tariff creates an immediate and serious challenge. The company says it will not shift production to a U.S. facility to bypass duties. In a statement saying, "We've been selling Moosehead in the U.S. for almost 50 years, and we've built an incredibly loyal American customer base. But navigating a 50% tariff puts a massive burden on our ability to compete fairly in the U.S. market." To other news of the morning, Nova Scotia RCMP say a recent rescue call they got was like a scam. Just before 4 Monday afternoon, crews were called in after a third-party text messages of someone having a medical emergency on Ingonish Beach. Along with police, EHS, fire, park services, and others, they rushed to help, but gave up after several hours of fruitless searching. Police now believe the entire call was phony, a case of so-called swatting. They are now focused on finding the person responsible. Finally, a trio of Nova Scotia nurses are being lauded for their quick and professional actions in an unlikely place, a plane bound for Toronto. The trio all work at the Valley Regional Hospital. They were on vacation on the commercial flight back in May when a fellow passenger became ill and passed out. The crew asked for medical assistance, and the three sprang into action, relying on their training and experience to help the woman.
It was like a normal afternoon flight. Got on the flight, maybe like 10 minutes into the takeoff, they sent like a request for any nurses or doctors overhead. So Carly and I first initially got up.
When we used the blood pressure cuff that was available to us, we noticed that it was low. When we looked into the medical care equipment, we noticed there was an IV. So we were like, well, there's no harm in inserting an IV and giving her some fluids if she has no medical history. So that's exactly what we did. Where there was no tourniquet, Abby actually made a handmade tourniquet and just put her hands around the patient's arms, and I was able to get an IV, and we initiated 2 500 ml boluses.
I think that we had all kind of realized that being a nurse kind of means you're on call all the time, and it takes a special person to do that. And I think that's why it felt normal to us, because it just did feel like a day at work, and it felt like something that was very natural to us to step up to help her.
What I witnessed from Carly.
Now, the patient, who's a woman from Ontario, was rushed to hospital when they landed in Toronto and later wrote a thank you letter to the nurses expressing her gratitude. The women say it was an experience they will never forget.
Wow. Glad that they were there.
Glad they were there. You never want to hear about a medical emergency, but to have those people on the plane with you.
Absolutely.
Those women from the Valley, well done.
Saving grace, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Ta-da! Christmas Daddy's calendar time again, everybody. Now available in Giant Tiger. We're going to do an official, real, YouTube level unboxing.
An unboxing.
Okay, love this. It's beautiful every year. Children in the region. Advocate Printing does these up.
Coupons!
You get the coupons, you buy the calendar, and then the coupons basically pay for the calendar. So each month it features designs from children across the region.
January, it's a New Year's baby.
It's a New Year's baby. It's really cute. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to, I don't think we can zoom in on that.
No.
But we're going to do this again this morning, so I'm going to divvy it up. But I always love to see the picture for my birthday, your birthday.
Yes.
So let's do yours, Latavia, first. What's your birthday?
March.
Okay. Oh, that's
skipped
May.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I
Flowers.
wish. Yeah.
Oh, this one is, there's something a little bit wrong with this particular calendar. We go from February to May. Yeah, whoopsie daisy.
That's okay.
That's okay. We'll figure it out. This is just like a kind of like a
sample
one.
Yeah.
So this is the real one. Will have all the months in it, I assure you.
Yes.
What about you, Latavia? I mean, Amanda.
Listen, I'll take Latavia. I'm May, so it has the flowers.
Oh, see, okay.
And I know
Oh, so this is the one you
November.
had. It is all May. Is that the one you? This is the special
That's
one for.
pretty.
This
Yeah,
is
very
beautiful.
special. Yeah, and let's see.
Gorgeous.
That's by.
We got to see November too.
November. Okay, that's mine. November.
Made from Mia, 7 years old.
November. Oh,
I love this
fitting.
calendar. Very fitting.
Oh, yes.
But just perfect fitting. It's a Remembrance Day theme, lest we forget. Okay, so don't you forget to go to Giant Tiger and get the calendars. A wonderful way to support Christmas Daddies, because that's going to be around right before you know it. $14 plus tax, and yeah.
I love that calendar.
Money well spent.
Yeah, it's great for writing too.
Oh yes, one more time
good-
before
good space.
with feeling. Look at the size of these squares. Lots of room for birthdays, appointments, and maybe weather and other wildlife sightings.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Hard to believe we're thinking about 2027. Okay, on this 9th month of 2026. Oh no, 8th month. I did jump ahead, almost 9 months. We're gonna have our first break. I'll have a look at your national headlines, and Latavia has the latest look at the forecast as we take a live look at very dark Confederation Bridge this morning. Do you notice the sunrise too is getting a little later and later every day?
Oh yeah.
The forecast in just a few moments.
Taking a live look at Moncton to start your Wednesday morning. Welcome back. The time now is 6:14. Beautiful start to the day. 16 degrees as of right now. Temperature is expected to rise a little bit later into the afternoon. A mix of sun and cloud. We are expecting a low chance of showers to return late this afternoon with a risk of thunderstorms. Weather is brought to you by Cummins Trusted Home Standby Generators. 16 degrees as well in Halifax. 17 this morning in Charlottetown. Only 9 degrees in Labrador City. 20 though in St. John's, Newfoundland. Over to our forecast timeline. We do have a bit of fog, a bit of cloud coverage to start your day for parts of the Maritime region. We are going to see sunshine for all 3 Maritime provinces with a chance of showers returning for parts of the Maritime region into the late afternoon, a risk of thunderstorms as well. Now, Newfoundland, Labrador also seeing a bit of wet weather in the forecast today. Quite light in its activity, though, and that takes us into tonight. A chance of showers remains, a risk of thunderstorms. Fog redevelops into the overnight hours. Temperatures remain relatively warm for our lows tonight. And then into early Thursday morning, we are going to see a sunny day ahead for all 3 Maritime provinces. Newfoundland, Labrador also going to see some sunshine. If you are wondering about precipitation totals, remaining quite light, only seeing 2 to 5 millimeters for Charlottetown, parts of Nova Scotia. Heaviest being around 5 to 10 millimeters for North Mountain. Newfoundland, Labrador not really seeing any accumulation from this system. Over to our forecast today for New Brunswick. Daytime highs will range from 22 to 27, being the warmest into Fredericton. Mainly sunny skies for much of the province, but we are going to see isolated showers. A risk of thunderstorms return from Moncton into the late afternoon. For Prince Edward Island, a mainly sunny start to your day. Scattered showers, a risk of thunderstorms expected this afternoon. Daytime highs between 23 to 24. And pretty light wind also expected today. And then for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, a mix of sun and cloud to start your day. Scattered showers, a risk of thunderstorms expected this afternoon. Daytime highs between 24 to 26, being the warmest into Sydney. And then for the rest of Nova Scotia, pretty much the same. We are going to see sunshine into later this morning and into the afternoon. We do have isolated showers expected for mainland Nova Scotia with the risk of thunderstorms late into the afternoon. Highs between 21 in Yarmouth up to 26 in Halifax as well as into Shelburne. And then for Labrador City, looking at a high of 22, a mix of sun and cloud to start your day. A chance of showers moves in this afternoon. 22 degrees for St. John's, Newfoundland. Periods of drizzle to start your day. Clearing out though, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. That's a look at your weather forecast. Going to throw things over to Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. In response to the punishing new American tariffs now in effect, Canada has announced billions of dollars in counter tariffs and a number of relief measures for Canadian businesses. CTV's Mike Lecouture has the details.
The LaPlante family has been in the metal roofing business for 3 generations. In that time, they've weathered a lot of storms, but this trade war feels different.
We've been focusing and trying to grow our sales in the U.S. for the last 50 years, and now to see that disappear is quite a shock.
It's why he and his son are welcoming the $7.5 billion support package from the federal government, including extra money for employment insurance.
We're going to stand up for you.
The federal government also released the nearly 700 products it's targeting in their dollar-for-dollar tariff package on American goods starting September 8th. Tariffs on U.S. steel and aluminum will go from 25% to 50%. Other goods seeing levies at that rate include perfumes and makeup and honey, among other things. Seafood products, cheese, and large kitchen appliances will be hit with 25% tariffs.
We're also targeting products that will target states in the U.S. And so we're being wise and strategic to put political pressure.
There will also be economic pressures on Canadians, and government officials couldn't put a number on how these measures will impact the economy on this side of the border.
We will publish our estimate when we come to the budget 2026. But for the time being, I would say with the measures we're putting forward, this is really about supporting Canada, supporting worker communities and businesses.
To help businesses even more, Philippe Laplante would like the government to go one step further.
Our Canadian government needs to be pushing that the hospitals, army bases, whether it's a school being built across Canada, is using Canadian steel by Canadian manufacturers here in Canada.
The government is also expanding a number of federal loan and grant programs. Billions of dollars will be made available to fund shovel-ready projects for Canadian businesses. And the Canadian Chamber of Commerce says this help needs to be in place urgently. Mike Lecouteur, CTV News, Ottawa.
And sad news in the country music world and well beyond. Music legend Dolly Parton has died at the age of 80 after a battle with cancer. CTV's Jean-Pierre Beauchemin looks back at her extraordinary life and enduring legacy.
With her bedazzled look, outsized personality, and hair, Dolly Parton often joked that her famous quote, "It costs a lot of money to look this cheap," should be on her tombstone. Just because I'm blonde, don't think I'm dumb. But it's her humanity shining through her music that many now remember. In Nashville and in Toronto.
For young women in music, writing these songs, she's such an inspiration to look up to.
A sweet lady who sang beautiful music and had a heart of gold.
Parton had spoken about a struggle with kidney stones and just days ago shared an update with fans saying she was healing but still working, as she often said she loved to do.
I am a workhorse that looks like a show horse.
Now it is true we had no money. Parton rose from poverty, the fourth of 12 children, her mother making clothes from rags, to riches, attaining glittering country music stardom and crossing genres.
A coat of many colors that my mama made for me was made only from rags, but I wore it so proudly.
Inspiration to so many, including Shania Twain. With her soprano voice, she delivered 25 #1 country hits, many of them she had written herself. In the 1970s, her star rose. She delivered movies like 9 to 5, TV shows, and more hits. She was a country star inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and in later years focused on her charity work, including the Imagination Library providing books to children. More than a year ago, she lost her husband, Carl Dean, describing their relationship as a great love story. Dolly Parton's nephew announced her death, as was her wish.
She wants to rest in a beautiful bed of plush cotton because after a life wearing heavy rhinestones, she finally deserves to be comfortable and have some rest.
Parton died peacefully in Nashville at the age of 80. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Montreal.
An icon. We're going to take a second break here on Your Morning Atlantic. When we return, we will have your business headlines and your must-see moment from TSN.
Move more Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
Years ago today.
Day we'll never forget.
It is now 6:25, a time to check in with our friends at TSN Sports Center for today's must-see moment.
Well, Laura Dyken here inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Tuesday. For that, let's go to mixed doubles action at the U.S. Open featuring Gael Monfils, who is teaming up with his wife, Alina Svitolina. And look at the defense from the 39-year-old. He's gone from the screen. Here comes the tennis ball. Gets back into position and rips the forehand winner down the baseline. Gael taking a bow for that. Tennis fans are going to miss this Monfils magic as the Frenchman is retiring at the end of the year. He and Svitolina won in 3 sets to advance to Wednesday's semifinal. And that is your must-see moment. Well, tonight on TSN, the Tempo look to get back in the win column as they visit the league-worst Seattle Storm. Coverage begins at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific. And that does it for us here inside the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great rest of the day.
This TSN must-see moment brought to you by J.R. Rahe's Furniture and Appliances.
Taking a look at our 3-day forecast for New Brunswick, 27 degrees with mainly sunny skies for much of the province. 26 on Thursday, we do have a mix of sun and cloud with isolated showers returning into the afternoon. Cooling down on Friday, ending off the work week with a high of 23 and scattered showers. For Nova Scotia, 26 degrees today with a mix of sun and cloud, isolated showers, a risk of thunderstorms into the afternoon. On Thursday, looking at a high of 26 with sunshine across the province. And then on Friday, 22 degrees. We will be seeing sunshine for much of the province. For the Tri-County area, showers into the afternoon and evening showers for the remainder of the province. For Prince Edward Island, 23 degrees, mainly sunny skies, isolated showers, a risk of thunderstorms into the afternoon. 27 on Thursday with mainly sunny skies, ending off the work week with sunshine and evening showers.
Still ahead this half hour, the Move Morning Chat. Today we're asking, what was your unexpected highlight of the summer? We'll have that conversation in about 15 minutes on Your Morning Atlantic.
Hey, good morning. It is 6:30 on your Wednesday. And we are inching towards the end of summer vacation for so many students and teachers. Many people who do work in the school system are preparing also for the return to school. I was double checking our schedule, like, right, we have to be ready to send our son to school. Is the bus lined up? We're still waiting to hear whose teacher is. Exciting times, but yeah, it looks like students in Nova Scotia will be going back to school first. Students in Nova Scotia and PEI, and then it's after Labor Day for students in New Brunswick.
Ooh, lucky ducks.
I know.
It's funny that it's so different across Canada.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very interesting.
Yeah, same goes for the holiday break in winter and March break too. Even the last day of school, it can change. So
yeah.
Anyways.
Weather, is it changing at all?
Not really.
Okay.
Yeah, much of the same that we saw yesterday, but a fog early on for parts of the region. We do have some wet weather still tracking across parts of Atlantic Canada. Drizzle has now ended for St. John's, Newfoundland. 20 degrees, though, to start your day. Another warm day ahead for St. John's. We are going to see that cloud coverage begin to break down. Sunshine expected into the afternoon. As of right now, it is 16 degrees in Halifax, 17 starting off your day in Charlottetown, 15 degrees in St. John, New Brunswick, 15 also starting off your day in Happy Valley, Goose Bay. Over to our satellite and radar. Sunshine for the Maritime region a little bit later on this morning. We do have a chance of showers, a risk of thunderstorms returning for parts of the Maritimes into the afternoon. Newfoundland, Labrador also seeing a bit of precipitation on and off throughout the day today. And in terms of our wind forecast, remaining light for all 3 maritime provinces. As of right now, 13 kilometers per hour in Moncton, 11 into Charlottetown, Grand Etang, and Sydney. No wind gusts to report. We'll take another look at your midweek forecast in just a bit, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thanks, Latavia. From makeup to smartphones and kitchen appliances, we now know how the federal government will hit back against new U.S. tariffs and how it plans to support businesses and workers.
Canada will match the United States tariffs dollar for dollar, rate for rate.
Canada's counter tariffs are targeting $27.6 billion worth of American imports. Some of the U.S. sectors targeted included steel and aluminum, seafood and dairy, consumer goods, plastics, paper, and apparel. Electronics and appliances, along with agricultural equipment, are also on the list. The federal government also announced $7.5 billion in supports for Canadian workers and businesses that include expanding a number of federal loan and grant programs. Here in Atlantic Canada, New Brunswick's premier says she's still deciding the best course of action. Susan Holt says Canada's trade war with the U.S. has not reached a point where her province would stop supplying electricity to Maine.
Things would have to get really bad because that's an extremely serious measure to turn the power off to a community in northern Maine that have been our friends and neighbors for generations.
Instead, the Holt government is considering other less severe options to respond to Trump's tariffs, everything from not allowing Americans to hunt for moose or fish salmon to no longer sending packaged lobsters south of the border. Holt says early estimates suggest 500 New Brunswick jobs alongside $112 million in New Brunswick goods will be affected by U.S. tariffs. The province has set money aside for businesses that will feel the brunt of the tariffs. A 68-year-old man has been arrested and charged with burning down a century-old church on the Acadian Peninsula. Gilles Mellette of Saint-Simon was identified by RCMP as a suspect in the arson that destroyed the historic church in the community near Caracat. Firefighters arrived early Monday morning to find the building engulfed in flames. It took hours to put out the fire, but the building was lost and 4 others damaged. Mellette remains in custody. He's got a bail hearing scheduled for Friday in Bathurst. There is some good news in an annual report on back-to-school food prices. It found in July a basket of 45 various food items cost $269.51, while that same basket in August is only costing just over $262. That is a drop of 2.8%.
Grocers were very aggressive with promotions, which is certainly good news, and we're expecting the same for September.
Now, outside of orange juice, which is spiking in price, 11 other products have dropped. We're seeing no change in price month over month, but those prices won't be around for long, which is why Sylvain Charlebois is urging parents to know their prices and be flexible to get the best deals when packing for back-to-school lunches. Weather-wise, this is proving to be a pretty good growing season in the Maritimes. After last summer's drought, conditions have been favorable for a bumper crop in fields and orchards. Timely and generous rains have been especially helpful.
We've had nice, consistent rainfall amounts every few weeks. We've been getting a good rain, which has been great. We're still seeing some trees struggling from last year and the extreme drought conditions that they faced. Overall, we are seeing a big rebound, and we're really, really happy with what we're seeing on the trees.
We love the rain on weekends, especially Sunday. You can have great naps when it's raining on Sunday.
Now, experts say you can expect to see local apples showing up in stores and markets in about 3 or 4 weeks' time. Finally, an iconic feature in downtown Moncton is on its way out. Decades of wear and tear have left the famous red brick sidewalks in the hub city in pretty rough shape, so they're being replaced by something new. Moncton City Council approved a plan last week to replace sections in the heart of Main Street.
It's really reached the end of its life cycle.
So what we want to do is start replacing blocks of Main Street, and we're looking at a multi-year project.
But the reality is, with the kind of weather we have, the winters we have, they just haven't stood the test of time. And the reality is they've become very uneven. Accessibility is a huge factor today as we have an aging population.
Now, more durable concrete blocks with different shades of color will be installed. This is a look at the concept art, and that project should take 5 to 6 years. So some big changes to coming to what you're going to see there in downtown Moncton. Some people who were walking around the streets of Moncton were telling CTV's Derek Haggett, you know, they are pretty, but when it comes to icy conditions, they can get really slippery.
Yeah, I
in the
can
winter.
imagine.
Be a bit hazardous, especially if you're going downhill. So, well, it does look nice, and they are iconic. That safety is an issue.
Accessibility probably too.
Accessibility, yeah.
But at least you're doing it with the colored cement
that should be
blocks.
pretty.
Like it should be it's similar anyway. Well, in case you missed it, the world has lost one of its most precious people. Dolly Parton died yesterday at the age of 80. Tributes are pouring in from around the world. The Empire State Building shone with pink lights to celebrate Dolly Parton's vibrant life. And at Pacific Park in California, we'll see in a moment. There they are, shining up bright. There we are. This is the famous Ferris wheel lit up in a tribute to Dolly with hearts and pink lights to honor the singer, songwriter, philanthropist, and humanitarian.
Just a light in this world.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Such a kind human being.
Yeah, such a generous human being. So such an icon and yet so humble.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful voice.
Yeah.
In fact, if you go on the Google homepage to search about Dolly Parton, they now have butterflies. And it says, yeah, we'll always love you.
Oh.
Natalie from our web team was just showing me.
That's awesome. All right.
Very much.
Definitely.
Well, still ahead, we will have some more news from Hollywood with the entertainment headlines. But before that, it's Move Morning Chat time. This morning, we want to know, what was your unexpected highlight of this summer? Please join us for the conversation. Share your story in just a few moments.
Good morning, Atlantic Canada. Time now is 6:42, starting off your day with sunshine over in Antigonish. 17 degrees as of right now. We'll be seeing sunshine all the way into the afternoon, but we do have a low chance of isolated showers. A risk of thunderstorms expected to return. So as of right now, a bit cooler to start your day across parts of the Maritime region. 16 degrees right now in Halifax with 17 in Charlottetown. Looking at 12 degrees in Bathurst, 15 in Fredericton, 9 degrees in Labrador City, 20 in St. John's, Newfoundland. So we still are holding on to some heat for the region. We are going to see those daytime highs, seasonal to above seasonal for much of them. A bit of sunshine early on, but we will see that cloud coverage break down even further, leaving sunshine for all 3 maritime provinces. Into the afternoon, though, a chance of showers, a risk of thunderstorms is expected for parts of the Maritime region. Newfoundland and Labrador also holding on to a bit of shower activity, still going to remain quite light, though, in its activity today. And then into tonight, lows remain relatively warm. We are going to see fog redevelop overnight, taking us into early Thursday morning. Showers clear, leaving sunshine for much of Atlantic Canada, with a low chance of showers returning for parts of the region. If you're wondering about precipitation totals, only seeing around 2 to 5 millimeters for Charlottetown, parts of Nova Scotia. Heaviest being still quite light, though, 5 to 10 millimeters for North Mountain. Newfoundland, Labrador not really seeing accumulation from this system. And over to our forecast today for New Brunswick. Daytime highs ranging from 22 degrees in St. John up to 27 in Fredericton. Mainly sunny skies across the province today. We do have isolated showers. A risk of thunderstorms expected to return into the afternoon for Moncton. Prince Edward Island, lots of sunshine to start your day. We are expecting scattered showers. A risk of thunderstorms into the afternoon, though. Daytime highs between 23 to 24. And then for Cape Breton and eastern Nova Scotia, also seeing sunshine to start your day. Scattered showers. A risk of thunderstorms expected this afternoon. Daytime highs ranging from 23 to 26. And then for the rest of Nova Scotia, looking at lots of sunshine throughout your day today. Isolated showers for mainland Nova Scotia into the afternoon, a risk of thunderstorms as well. Daytime highs between 21 degrees in Yarmouth up to 26 in Halifax and Shelburne. And then for Labrador City, 22 degrees today with a mix of sun and cloud, a chance of showers into the afternoon, still a low chance of it happening. 22 degrees for St. John's, Newfoundland. We had drizzle early on, already clearing out, leaving sunshine for the remainder of the day. That's a look at your weather forecast. Going to throw things over to the Move Morning Chat.
It's the Wednesday edition of the Move Morning Chat. We are slowly getting towards the end of summer vacation. So we thought we would ask you, what is a summer highlight, especially something unexpected? So Crystal, what was something for you that was unexpected that you had this summer?
I was really able to lean into my summer vacation. So I took 2 weeks off thinking that the second week we would be going maybe to away if my daughter made a certain standard for the world track, which she came very close but did not. So rather than say, okay, whatever, she did great. I thought, let's just lean into the second week. So I just soaked up the glory of Cape Breton. It was wonderful. Yeah, the beach days and community festivals, and got to meet all kinds of wonderful people. It was awesome.
That sounds amazing. And I remember you at the beginning of the summer were saying, like, I really want to soak up every single day.
Yeah, and I have been doing that, but particularly in that time, yeah,
That's
it
amazing.
was glorious.
And you came back refreshed, which is amazing too.
That was, yeah, exactly. What about you?
My summer this year, unfortunately, was not great. I didn't get out and do much. I think I went to the beach maybe once, the lake once, swimming twice. That's not typically me. I would say the highlight, though, would be watching my kids develop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that because toddler phase is really hard, hence why we haven't made it out to many places, because they don't want to do much. But just watching them love new things, find interest in new things, and, you know, riding around on skateboards and all this stuff that they're trying to get into these days. I think that's been the highlight, even though I'm exhausted and it's chaos. It's wonderful chaos.
Precious. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Absolutely. And it offers just a fresh perspective on life. It is so true. You're like, yeah, this is a magical moment.
Right? Yeah.
Mine is developing a stronger relationship with my neighbor. Her name is Elham. We've been neighbors for about 6 years. She's got 2 boys who've just graduated high school. And we've always been friendly, said hi to each other. We've done a dinner here and there, but we haven't had a lot of time to spend with each other. She works in the school system. And at the beginning of the summer, I said, well, why don't you join me and Dewey for a noontime walk? And I usually do that walk by myself every day. And every day during the work week, we've been walking together at lunchtime. And it's been so nice just to get to know my neighbor, who I consider a friend, better, and to have these lovely walks together. And she's like, with this school year starting, I'm really going to miss our noontime walks. But because we've made that really nice connection, I'm hoping that we'll find other ways to continue our daily walks together over the weekend and hopefully in the winter months. We've gone to movies together now.
That's amazing.
And it's been just like an unexpected thing that happened this summer, and I've just been loving this company and getting to know my neighbor better.
That's so sweet.
Fantastic.
Maybe you can move it to early evening.
Yeah.
Early
dinner.
evening.
After dinner. Yeah.
Yeah, as she prepares to head back to school.
It's good for digestion, the after dinner walk.
It is.
So we would love to hear from you on this topic. Of course, we're asking this morning, what's been an unexpected highlight of the summer? Send us a text at 10400 and we will share your messages a little later.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
Welcome back. The time now is 6:52. We're going to head over to Hollywood and take a look at your entertainment headlines.
Dolly Parton's friends and collaborators mourning the country superstar's passing. In a statement to ABC News, Linda Ronstadt writing, I am deeply saddened by the passing of my friend Dolly Parton. One of the most extraordinary musical experiences of my life was recording with her. Comedian Lily Tomlin, who starred alongside Parton and Jane Fonda in the film 9 to 5, shared a photo with Parton captioned, "No words." The music icon star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame overflowing with tributes. Parton was 80 years old. Former Downton Abbey star Dan Stevens will suit up to serve the public trust in a new RoboCop series for Prime Video. The original RoboCop came out in 1987 and was followed by 2 movie sequels and a 2014 remake.
These people could be killers.
Only Murders in the Building will return with new episodes before the end of the year. Season 6 of the mystery series, dubbed Only Murders in London, will premiere on Hulu December 8th and follow the characters as they solve a case across the pond. Disney is a parent company of Hulu and ABC News. And happy birthday to Keke Palmer, who turns 33 today. That's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Alex Stone, ABC News.
And it's a beautiful spectacle, only seen in the summer months. And if you're lucky, you can catch a glimpse of the monarch butterflies fluttering around in gardens.
Yes, CTV's Allison Bamford has more on the butterfly boom this year and what it means for the endangered species.
Tyler Flockhart studies monarch butterflies. He's fascinated by the resilience of something so fragile.
You have an insect that weighs as much as a quarter that can fly all the way from southern Canada all the way to Mexico and then back in the spring. It's pretty remarkable.
Monarch butterflies are an endangered species in Canada and not common on the prairies. But this year, the ecologist is seeing more than usual in Saskatoon, a sign that we could be in the midst of a butterfly boom.
We know that when monarchs are at fairly good numbers in the summer, they start showing up in places where you are in the western provinces.
People across the prairies are taking note, patiently capturing the tiny details of metamorphosis from caterpillar to chrysalis to butterfly. Experts say it's common for insect populations to fluctuate. Favorable weather conditions likely contributed to this year's numbers.
Over the long term, we're still in a state where the populations are considerably lower than what they had been.
Habitat loss, particularly the loss of milkweed plants, seems to be the main driver behind the declining population. Flockhart is now part of a larger group looking into the monarch's exact habitat locations, using these tiny tags to track where the monarchs go and when they go there. Information that he says could help in conservation.
Particularly for the prairie provinces, it gives us information to understand how important are the prairies to the monarch population as a whole.
Some monarchs have already started migrating. Flockhart hopes to begin tagging butterflies as soon as possible so their flights south can be tracked in real time. Allison Bamford, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Taking another look at our 3-day forecast, sunshine across much of New Brunswick today with a high of 27. 26 degrees on Thursday, looking at a mix of sun and cloud with a low chance of showers expected to return. On Friday, wet weather ahead with scattered showers and cooling down to 23. For Nova Scotia, 26 degrees today, lots of sunshine before a chance of showers. A risk of thunderstorms returns into the afternoon. 26 degrees on Thursday with mainly sunny skies, cooling down to 22 on Friday. Sunshine for much of the province. We do have shower activity for the Tri-County area, evening showers for the remainder of the province. And then Prince Edward Island, 23 degrees today, mainly sunny start to your day. Isolated showers, a risk of thunderstorms into the afternoon. Heating up to 27 on Thursday with mainly sunny skies. 25 on Friday with sunshine and evening showers.
It's Wednesday, August 26th. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, New Brunswick's premier says the trade war has not reached a point where her province would stop supplying electricity to Maine. The latest reaction just ahead, new news headlines.
And speaking of the trade war, we will chat with one of the Atlantic Canadian industries facing the brunt of U.S. tariffs. That conversation coming up this half hour on Your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning, Atlantic Canada. Thank you so much for joining us. We are now midweek. It is Wednesday. Happy Hump Day.
Happy Hump Day. Hey.
It's all about perspective, I feel, because earlier before the show, I was saying, oh, it's only Wednesday. Crystal walked in and she's like, it's Wednesday, we've made it. I'm like, you know what, you're right.
Halfway through, baby. Halfway through. I find that the week is like a roller coaster. The beginning, when you go da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, it takes quite a long time to get it to the top of the hill, and then whoosh,
it's true.
At the end.
Yeah. I don't know why this week feels a little long, but
you know what? We get it. We have a short week coming up with Labor Day being the first weekend of September. So that'll feel good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
that'll be nice.
We love a sleep in.
Yeah, a little bit of a sleep in. I mean, that's the best part for us. But I don't know. You hear people talk about getting the Sunday scaries where they're like, oh, gosh, I gotta go to work tomorrow. Never.
That's awesome. I always have the Sunday scare.
Do you really?
I love being here.
Yes.
And when I'm here, I'm like, oh, it's so nice. It's so much fun. But like just thinking about it's the alarm clock.
It's the alarm clock.
Yeah. It's not about being here. We love being on the show. It's waking up at 2:30 in the morning. I'm like,
as we get to weather, thank you for acknowledging my positivity. Okay, I was gonna complain about the humidity in my hair, but I'm not gonna now, because here we are at the Bedeck Live. Basically, let's just keep this in our mind, because whenever you feel sad, just look at this picture.
I know, I just get to live right on the water over there.
All right, there's that pontoon boat, girls. You didn't come out with me the other day.
We'll make it happen today.
This time I am providing the snacks and the mocktails.
All right, that's a win-win right there. Glass water early this morning over in Bedeck. The sun is shining to start your day. We are going to see temperatures continue to warm up. As of right now, 17 degrees in your area. 16 right now in Halifax. 15 starting off your day in St. John, New Brunswick, with 17 in Charlottetown. 9 degrees in Labrador City. 20 already in St. John's, Newfoundland. Over to our satellite and radar. Sunshine for much of Atlantic Canada today, but we do have shower activity returning yet again. Some pop-up showers expected into the afternoon for parts of the Maritime region, and Newfoundland, Labrador also dealing with a bit of wet weather. And in terms of our wind forecast, remaining quite light for all three Maritime provinces today. 13 kilometers per hour in Moncton and Lunenburg, 11 in Charlottetown, Grand Etang, and Sydney. No wind gusts to report at this time. We'll take another look at your long-range forecast just ahead, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thanks, Latavia. From makeup to smartphones and kitchen appliances, we now know how the federal government will hit back against new U.S. tariffs and how it plans to support businesses and workers.
Canada will match the United States tariffs dollar for dollar, rate for rate.
Canada's counter tariffs are targeting $27.6 billion worth of American imports. Some of the U.S. sectors targeted include steel and aluminum, seafood and dairy, consumer goods, plastics, paper, and apparel. Electronics and appliances, along with agricultural equipment, are also on the list. The federal government also announced $7.5 billion in supports for Canadian workers and businesses that include expanding a number of federal loan and grant programs. Here in Atlantic Canada, New Brunswick's premier says she's still deciding the best course of action. Susan Holt says Canada's trade war with the U.S. has not reached a point where her province would stop supplying electricity to Maine.
Things would have to get really bad, because that's an extremely serious measure to turn the power off to a community in northern Maine that have been our friends and neighbors for generations.
Instead, the Holt government is considering other, less severe options to respond to Trump's tariffs. Everything from not allowing Americans to hunt for moose or fish salmon to no longer sending packaged lobsters south of the border. Holt says early estimates suggest 500 New Brunswick jobs alongside $112 million in New Brunswick goods will be affected by U.S. tariffs. Meantime, the fallout from the expanding trade war has some maritime businesses, like Mrs. Dunster's in Sussex, preparing for what may come next.
I've been down to Mexico a few times trying to open up some opportunities down there. And we're also always on the lookout for potential acquisition opportunities. So it's really not about shrinking our U.S. business, because our U.S. business is pretty robust right now, but it's really about making sure we're not overly dependent on it.
Moosehead Breweries in St. John says the decision to target Canadian beer with a 50% tariff creates an immediate and serious challenge. The company says it will not shift production to a U.S. facility to bypass duties. In a statement saying, we've been selling Moosehead in the U.S. for almost 50 years, and we've built an incredibly loyal American customer base. But navigating a 50% tariff puts a massive burden on our ability to compete fairly in the U.S. market. We all know every second counts when fighting a fire, so when a Halifax fire truck has trouble getting to a blaze downtown, it can cause concern.
Eventually, they decided they did need to get their trucks in closer to actually deal with this situation.
Firefighters were called in to investigate smoke in a restaurant on Argyle Street, but struggled to get past the pedestrian gate. In the end, the incident was minor, but people in the area admit to being a bit concerned.
It's concerning because for big, fire vehicles, we have a lot of bars and restaurants on the street, and they need to get down here quick. We're very fortunate that the incident at Taipan was so resolved so quickly.
The vetting of the whole street design when it was done in 2016 would have included fire and police and all those other city departments as well. So they did sign off on it at that time.
Paul McKinnon also points out the south end of the closed-off sections of Argyle Street are open. CTV News reached out to both Halifax Regional Fire and Emergency and their union for comment, but did not hear back by news time. Finally, weather-wise, this is proving to be a very good growing season here in the Maritimes. After last summer's drought, conditions have been favorable for a bumper crop in fields and orchards. Timely and generous rains have also been especially helpful.
We've had nice, consistent rainfall amounts every few weeks. We've been getting a good rain, which has been great. We're still seeing some trees struggling from last year and the extreme drought conditions that they faced. Overall, we are seeing a big rebound, and we're really, really happy with what we're seeing on the trees.
We love the rain on weekends, especially Sunday. You can have great naps when it's raining on Sunday.
And experts say you can expect to see local apples showing up in stores and markets in about 3 or 4 weeks' time.
Oh, I love a good apple.
Counting down the days.
Locally grown, yum.
So good coming from the valley. You see, rain is a good thing.
It is.
Oh, yeah. Remember last year with the lack of rain, the apples were so tiny?
I know.
Yeah, that was a big impact. So happy to hear.
Not this year.
No, the Honeycrisp supply is really low. Almost non-existent now. I can't wait for the replenishment.
The fresh ones.
Ooh, I love a fresh apple. Oh, fall too. Ooh, so exciting. So much to look forward to. But let's get more smiles going.
Okay.
The Toronto Zoo is celebrating 6 months with its new baby giraffe. I love baby giraffes. There it is. That's Amara. She's come a long way, baby. They posted an update on social media writing that it's been an incredible 6 months watching Amara grow since her birth in February. She now stands over 8 feet tall and weighs more than 560 pounds. Wow. That's almost 400 pounds more than she weighed at birth. Wow. Staff say she's curious, adventurous, and confident. But if you want to know how big a full-grown female weighs, it's between 1,600 and 2,600 pounds.
Whoa, mama.
That's a big scale.
So that's what she weighs. Yeah, right? So tall. Oh my gosh. I love giraffes in general, but baby giraffes?
They're beautiful.
So cool. And they have quite the descent when they come into the world, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I know. They have to plop down from quite a high height.
Yeah. Hello. Where am I?
Oh my
Welcome
gosh.
to the world.
Welcome to
Remember, was
built for
it pandemic when April the giraffe had the baby?
Oh gosh, that sounds familiar.
Wow. Something like that. Remember that was a video? Anyway, literally that got me through the winter watching.
Very early on, yes.
Her, waiting to have that baby.
Giraffe baby watch. Okay, we're going to have another break here. Latavia has a look at the forecast on this Wednesday. Plus, I'll have a look at your national and international news headlines. Let's take a live look at conditions this morning in beautiful Summerside, Prince Edward Island. Oh, hope you're having a great time on the island, whether you're living there or you're visiting for the last few days of summer vacation. Forecast is next.
Beautiful sunrise to start your Wednesday morning. Welcome back. The time now is 7:13, 16 degrees over in McAdam. Expecting mainly sunny skies throughout your day today. Weather is brought to you by Cummins, trusted home, standby generators. As of right now, 16 degrees in Sydney as well as into Halifax. 17 degrees early this morning in Charlottetown, 15 in Moncton, 9 degrees in Labrador City, 17 right now in Corner Brook. Over to our forecast timeline. Sunshine returns for much of the Maritime region as cloud coverage begins to break down. Fog burns off. We are going to see a chance of showers, though, return into the afternoon, a risk of thunderstorms. Newfoundland and Labrador also seeing a bit of wet weather returning for parts of those provinces. Into this evening, much of the same is expected. We hold on to a chance of precipitation with the risk of thunderstorms. Fog redevelops into the overnight hours. Quite warm lows for tonight, though, for the Maritime region. Taking us into early Thursday morning, we are going to see precipitation clear, leaving sunshine in the forecast for Thursday. If you're wondering about precipitation totals, remaining quite light for parts of the Maritime region, only seeing around 2 to 5 millimeters for Charlottetown, parts of Nova Scotia, heaviest being North Mountain, 5 to 10 millimeters, still remaining quite light. Newfoundland and Labrador not seeing accumulation from this system. Over to our forecast today for New Brunswick. Beautiful sunshine returns across the province today. We do have a low chance of some isolated showers, a risk of thunderstorms returning to Moncton into the afternoon. Daytime highs ranging from 22 degrees in St. John up to 26 today. And then for Prince Edward Island, mainly sunny start to your day. A chance of showers, a risk of thunderstorms expected this afternoon with highs between 23 to 24. For Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, much of the same is expected. A mix of sun and cloud today. Scattered showers, a risk of thunderstorms expected this afternoon. Daytime highs between 23 to 26. And then for the rest of Nova Scotia, sunshine to start your day. Isolated showers for mainland Nova Scotia into the afternoon with the risk of thunderstorms. And highs between 21 degrees in Yarmouth up to 26 in Shelburne. And then for Labrador City, looking at a mix of sun and cloud to start your day. A chance of showers, quite low in spotting its activity, though, into the afternoon. A high of 21. 22 degrees in St. John's, Newfoundland. Periods of drizzle already clearing out, leaving sunshine for the remainder of the day. That's a look at your weather forecast. Going to throw things over to meteorologist Kaylin Mitchell.
This is your Campfire Conditions Report, brought to you by Pine Acres RV, where customers become friends, beginning in the province of New Brunswick. Campfires in Category 1 burning are currently permitted. In the province of Nova Scotia, most counties are allowed to have a campfire between the hours of 2 p.m. and 8 a.m. There's a few exceptions. Annapolis County, Kings County, Cumberland, Colchester counties, and Pictou County. There, campfires only allowed between 7 p.m. and 8 a.m. And for Prince Edward Island, campfires are currently allowed, with domestic brush burning permitted between the hours of 2 p.m. and 8 a.m. Be sure to check in on any municipal bylaws and restrictions as well.
Tributes are continuing to pour in after news country music legend Dolly Parton has died.
Tumble out of bed and I stumble to the kitchen, pour myself a cup of ambition and yawn and stretch and try to come to life.
Dolly Parton is the best-selling female country music artist of all time. She's written over 3,000 songs, including 9 to 5, Jolene, and the mega hit I Will Always Love You. Born in Pittman Center, Tennessee in 1946, Parton began playing guitar at the age of 6 and singing in church. She started writing songs a year later. She had several #1 hits, and by 1980, she starred in her first movie, which was 9 to 5. Parton's nephew announced her death in an online video.
Clipped my wings, saying,
U.S. President Donald Trump is continuing to take shots at Canada on his Truth social platform, even threatening to change the name of a Great Lake. CTV's Abigail Beeman reports.
Among a morning barrage of anti-Canadian posts, we were labeled the most difficult and unreasonable. President Trump says the U.S. is seriously considering renaming Lake Ontario to Lake America, followed by this map and another in Lego from the White House.
We'll always call it Lake Ontario. Great Lakes. Period.
Canada standing firm as it announced counter tariffs on the U.S. But a few hours later, a new Lake America map from a cabinet member and a White House press release headlined, President Trump is finally ending Canada's free ride, listing so-called facts of Canadian abuse without context and slamming Canada's countermeasures as doubling down on tariffs targeting American workers.
Doug, you are a lot more mellow right now. I mean, yesterday you were telling the president to kiss your tush.
Meanwhile, Doug Ford took to American airwaves again, mellow and encouraging.
We got a little heated back and forth over the last day, but
I really want to just get a deal signed. It's time to get back to the table and let's negotiate a fair deal. I'd rather make a great deal.
I think it's going to have a significant impact.
This trade expert, who was once assistant chief negotiator for the United States Trade Representative's office, says Canada's counter tariffs will hit Americans, especially in states critical to Trump in the midterms.
Carpets are being made a lot in Georgia. Georgia is a very big state that the Republicans are trying to win back that Senate seat. There's some on Tennessee, another critical state. There's some on products being made in Texas. So I think that there was some strategic thought put into not only what the products are, but where their production is located.
While there hasn't been much public presidential pushback from Republicans, sources tell us behind the scenes it's a slightly different story, especially in those states worried about midterms, with lawmakers listening more closely to constituents hurt by tariffs. Vashi?
I'll take that. CTV's Abigail Beeman reporting in Washington. And on the other side of the break, Crystal will have a conversation with the president of the New Brunswick Federation of Woodlot Owners to get his reaction to this trade war. That's next. Please stay with us.
Welcome back. It's 7:22. Now, one of the Atlantic Canadian industries facing the brunt of U.S. tariffs is wood producers in New Brunswick, who already are grappling with high costs and low revenue. Joining us now is the president of the New Brunswick Federation of Woodlot Owners, Rick Doucette. Good morning, Rick.
Morning.
So let's begin. What are your thoughts on this escalating trade war?
Well, I mean, we're the same as any other Canadians. We were disappointed that, we did hear there was a deal on the table. We were a little bit surprised there was a deal on the table. I do feel at times, and same with a lot of other Canadians, it feels like we're negotiating with a U.S. administration that's in the middle of a nervous breakdown. And it would be very difficult for any negotiating team to find a deal. But when we heard there was one, we were somewhat optimistic that we might get a little bit of relief from these tariffs, because this is the third round of tariffs that our members have suffered through. We started in 2016. We had more tariffs put on in 2025, and now there's this new round. So the pressure is really on our people to try to maintain a living and stay in business.
Oh gosh, I can only imagine how challenging it must be. How are tariffs impacting woodlot owners?
Well, woodlot owners, there's 42,000 woodlot owners in New Brunswick, and we own about 4.2 million acres of forested land. The woodlot owners themselves, for the most part, will still be here, whether tariffs come or go. The challenge is the people that work on those woodlots are just, the margins for making money are just not there anymore, because even though the argument is that the U.S. consumer pays the tariff, the reality here in New Brunswick is that when the tariffs came on in 2016 and continued in 2025 and today, there's always a little bit of that tariff money is passed on in the form of lower wood prices. And so the wood producers, the people that cut wood, the forward wood and truck wood, the margins for them to stay in business are gone. And we've actually lost, probably in the last year and a half, we probably lost about 200 jobs from the woods of people that work in the supply chain, cutting wood and moving it to market. So there's been some job losses, and that's the challenge, is that those job losses are sort of invisible. Mm-hmm. It's not like a mill closed in one spot and 200 jobs were lost. It's 200 jobs lost all over the province of New Brunswick. It has quite a significant economic impact, but it's not as obvious as a mill closure or a mine closure or something like that.
That's a good point, Rick. We've only got less than a minute left. Support programs were announced yesterday to support industry and workers. How satisfied are you with measures like this?
Well, I have to take a closer look at it, because in the past, what's happened is there's always quite a focus to meet with the mills and make sure that they're stable and they're going to be there. And that's the right move in the first step. Often that support doesn't trickle down to the workers, the people in the supply chain. So we have to kind of have a look and see if the supports that were announced are going to make their way to those people that are probably hurting the most, the people trying to move wood to market. And often that doesn't happen, and it won't happen on its own. It has to be something mandated by government. If you just support the mills alone, that money doesn't trickle down to the supplier. So we have to see if that's going to be the case this time, because if it isn't, we're going to lose capacity to cut wood for sure.
Interesting.
And we're going to lose more jobs.
Yeah, that is I know it's a fluid situation. Thank you so much for your thoughts this morning, Rick.
Oh, I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
You are most welcome. That was Rick Doucette with the New Brunswick Woodlaw owners. We are going to take a break at 7:26. We'll be right back in about 2 minutes' time.
Still ahead on the run meal ideas, Suzette and our partners at Chris Brothers have fun and flavorful snacks and meals that's sure to help you and your family ease through September's very busy back to school season. That's coming up in 15 minutes on Your Morning Atlantic.
Here we are, halfway through the show, halfway through the week, and almost at the end of the month of August. Wild how time flies.
I know.
So wild.
Yeah, and starting to think about packing lunches.
Yes, packing lunches for sure. Or packing. Lori Barker-Jackman, registered dietitian and friend of the show, was in last week. She said a lot of the schools have, of course, lunch programs now, which is amazing, but you still often have to pack snacks to supplement that. So that's going to have some great ideas. I do find sometimes you find yourself in a pickle. You come home, you're super hungry, you're exhausted.
Yes.
You open up the fridge and there's nothing there at the ready, and you're just like, have you ever been in this state where you're so hungry that you could barely keep it together? You're like, what are we gonna do?
You're hangry.
You're hangry.
And what do you, oh, sorry.
Well, I was just gonna say, I actually do have some Chris Brothers, the big thick ham in the fridge, 2 packages, because my go-to is if I'm really desperate, I can cut that up and make that delicious ham and potato soup that she made for us on the show.
Oh, good idea.
Always a hit.
That was a good one.
And you always have the stuff on hand for that.
I'm gonna be honest, sometimes I just like crab potato chips. I'm like a monster.
Well, they don't.
You're not alone.
But for sure, that's what we do. Like, or that if you don't have no chips, like a bag of saltine crackers, like whatever. But
anything.
That's not going to be dinner. You got to still figure out.
Oh, dinner.
Yeah.
When this chip bag is empty, there's dinner.
Oh, that's true. Dinner. I was thinking about like the moment you get home from work at noon before you walk your dog.
No, that feeling of like But anyway, I'm telling you, the Chris Brothers ham. It's the trick. Yeah, absolutely. What about you? Do you have like a go-to if you're desperate?
Not really.
I know what it is. It's pizza. Kyle making the pizza.
Oh my God, I have way too much pizza all the time. I'm making a pizza. That's his go-to in my household. I was like, what are we gonna make? Oh, we're just gonna have a pizza. I'm like, oh my God, again? So then I usually don't eat it.
Listen, it might be nice if you got a pizza barbecue outside.
Yeah, he makes it fresh, so it's healthy. It's just, every day, no. All right, here's a live look at Halls Harbor. As you can see, a cloudy start to the day. 17 degrees as of right now. Temperatures are expected to warm up. Cloud coverage is expected to break down, leaving some sunshine. We do have some shower activity moving in, though, into the afternoon. As of right now, 16 degrees to start your day in Halifax, 15 in Yarmouth, as well as into Fredericton, 17 degrees in Charlottetown, 15 degrees over in Cartwright, 16 in St. Anthony. So sunshine for much of the region a little bit later on this morning. We are expecting a chance of showers, a risk of thunderstorms to return for parts of the Maritime region. Newfoundland and Labrador seeing a bit of shower activity expected into the afternoon as well. And in terms of our wind forecast, remaining quite light for all 3 Maritime provinces, 15 kilometers per hour to start your day in North Cape, 13 into Moncton with 11 in Grand Etang, as well as into Charlottetown and Truro. No wind gusts to report as of right now. We'll take another look at your long-range forecast just ahead, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
From makeup to smartphones and kitchen appliances, we now know how the federal government will hit back against new U.S. tariffs and how it plans to support businesses and workers.
Canada will match the United States tariffs dollar for dollar, rate for rate.
Canada's counter tariffs are targeting $27.6 billion worth of American imports. Some of the U.S. sectors targeted include steel and aluminum, seafood and dairy, consumer goods, plastics, paper, and apparel. And meantime, the federal government also announced $7.5 billion in supports for Canadian workers and businesses. That includes expanding a number of federal loan and grant programs. New Brunswick's premier says she's still deciding the best course of action. Susan Holt says Canada's trade war with the U.S. has not reached a point where her province would stop supplying electricity to Maine.
Things would have to get really bad because that's an extremely serious measure to turn the power off to a community in northern Maine that have been our friends and neighbors for generations.
Instead, the Holt government is considering other less severe options to respond to Trump's tariffs, everything from not allowing Americans to hunt for moose or fish salmon to no longer sending packaged lobsters south of the border. Holt says early estimates suggest 500 New Brunswick jobs alongside $112 million in New Brunswick goods will be affected by U.S. tariffs. To other news now, Nova Scotia RCMP say a recent rescue call they got was like a scam. Just before 4 Monday afternoon, crews were called after receiving a third-party text message of someone having a medical emergency on Ingonish Beach. Along with police, EHS, fire, park services, and others, they all rushed to help, but gave up after several hours of searching and finding nothing. Police now believe the entire call was phony, a case of so-called swatting. They're now focused on finding the person responsible. A 68-year-old man has been arrested and charged with burning down a century-old church on the Acadian Peninsula. Gilles Mallette of Saint-Simon was identified by RCMP as a suspect in the arson that destroyed the historic church in the community near Caracat. Firefighters arrived early Monday morning to find the building engulfed in flames. It took hours to put out the fire, but the building was lost and 4 others damaged. Mallette remains in custody. He's got a bail hearing scheduled for Friday in Bathurst. Finally, researchers will soon be looking for homegrown solutions to the ongoing tick problem at a one-of-a-kind research center right here in the Maritimes. CTV's Vanessa Wright has more.
Carmen Dewar-Miller is no stranger to ticks.
I had a bruise on my leg early in July, and then it just didn't go away. And at the end of the month, I noticed that it had developed a ring around it and went right into Emerge, and they told me, yes, you have Lyme.
Which is why she's excited to know some of the best tick research in the country is being done here in her hometown of Wolfville.
Province of Nova Scotia.
Today, the provincial and federal governments made a combined commitment of nearly $2 million for the Canadian Tick Research and Innovation Centre at Acadia University.
We've been hearing the stories of people that have been infected by the various types of ticks that are now prevalent in our communities and the health consequences.
Through some generous donations and government support, we can now produce our own ticks, which is a very weird thing for a president to say, but it is a big step forward for Acadia and for the country.
The center is only one of its kind in the country. Its director says the funding will help researchers better understand ticks found here at home.
They will help to investigate surveillance for understanding better the type of ticks that are in Nova Scotia and in Canada, developing new repellents by studying tick ecology and looking at new approaches for tick bite prevention.
Any research or any movement towards curing, mitigating the effects of tick-borne Lyme, I'm so excited about.
Vanessa Wright, CTV News.
Ooh, yeah, those ticks. I found one in my hair earlier this year. Ooh.
Ugh.
Ooh. Ugh. It wasn't attached, but.
Thank heaven. Let's talk about something else. This is actually really exciting, okay? First of all, the Little League World Series is taking place this week in South Williamsport, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Canada has advanced to the next round, and they face Japan today with a shot at the quarterfinals of the international bracket.
Ooh.
And it's a big deal because Canada hasn't made it this far in the tournament since 2017.
Wow.
So yay, Canada. However, all eyes have been on this player on Team Alabama. This is Kylie Rasmus, known for the phrase, fear the bow. All right, she's been unstoppable at the mound and at bat. Earlier this week, the 12-year-old shut down Pennsylvania, allowing just 2 hits and striking out 6 batters. She now has 14 strikeouts in the tournament, tying Monet Davis for the most ever by a girl at the Little League World Series, and she's only the 25th girl ever to play in the series.
Wow.
So fear the bow.
Fear the bow.
Yes.
I love that.
Great job, Kylie. Big future ahead. There you go.
Wow, 12 years old.
I know.
I know.
And her team and that just like, I'm not that interested in baseball, but I was just wrapped. Her team was down, and they would have been eliminated from the whole tournament. But they were down by 5 runs, and they pull her in, and
wow,
they win the game.
The magic.
Exactly.
So cool. We've been working on with our son with his throw and catches at night now, and something we've been doing this summer. And we want to talk about some of the summer highlights that you have. We know there's still some time left in summer vacation, but it is coming to a close. So we're asking, what was your unexpected highlight of the summer? There's still time to join in the conversation. 10400 is the number. We can't wait to hear from you and share your messages later.
Yeah, cool. I want to make sure that I got it right. It's Kinley Rasmus, not Kyla. It's Kinley.
Okay.
Kinley. Yeah, sorry, my mistake. To the Rasmus family who may be watching right now.
Okay, and you're still watching. We hope you stay tuned, because on the other side of this break, Latavia has the latest look at the Wednesday forecast. Plus, Suzette Beliveau, the hostess with the mostest, she is live in our kitchen. She's bringing us the ultimate September snack platter with easy meal ideas for the whole family, thanks to our partners at Chris Brothers. Stay with us.
Welcome back. The time now is 7:43. A beautiful sunny start to the day over in Corner Brook. Sunshine remains in the forecast throughout your day today. Currently 17 degrees as you head outdoors. Weather is brought to you by Cummins Trusted Home Standby Generators. 16 degrees as of right now in Halifax as well as into Sydney. 17 early this morning in Charlottetown. 15 degrees in Fredericton. 14 over in Happy Valley Goose Bay. We do have sunshine for much of Atlantic Canada starting off the day as cloud coverage clears out, fog patches burn off, but we do have a chance of showers returning for parts of Labrador early on. And then into the afternoon, a chance of showers, a risk of thunderstorms for parts of the Maritime region. Also seeing a bit of shower activity moving into parts of Newfoundland. Into tonight, much of the same is expected. Temperatures remain relatively warm for our lows for the Maritime region. Fog will redevelop into the overnight hours. Shower activity clears out, leaving sunshine in our forecast for Thursday. If you're wondering about precipitation totals, remaining quite light, only seeing an additional 2 to 5 millimeters for parts of Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia. Heaviest being around 5 to 10 millimeters for North Mountain. And Newfoundland, Labrador, not really seeing any accumulation. Over to our forecast today for New Brunswick, mainly sunny skies across the province today. We do have a low chance of shower activity, risk of thunderstorms for Moncton into the afternoon. Other than that, though, daytime highs will range from 22 degrees in St. John up to 26. Prince Edward Island, mainly sunny skies to start your day into the afternoon as well, but we do have some scattered showers, a risk of thunderstorms moving back in. Highs will range from 23 to 24. And then for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, also seeing sunshine, a mix of sun and cloud early on. Scattered showers and a risk of thunderstorms also expected to move back in into the afternoon. Daytime highs between 23 to 26. And then for the rest of Nova Scotia, a beautiful sunny start to your day. We are going to see isolated showers return for mainland Nova Scotia with a risk of thunderstorms and daytime highs between 21 to 26. For Labrador City, 21 degrees today with a mix of sun and cloud. A chance of showers into the afternoon, and 22 for St. John's, Newfoundland. Periods of drizzle already clearing out, though, seeing lots of sunshine into the afternoon as well. That's a look at your weather forecast. Going to head over to the kitchen with Crystal and Suzette.
Thank you so much, Latavia. And with a new school year on the horizon, families are preparing for a very busy time of year as they juggle sports, after-school activities, and so much more. But eating meals doesn't have to be boring or take a long time. Suzette Beliveau and our partners at Chris Brothers are about to prove that right now. So what have you got for us today,
Good
Suzette?
morning, Crystal. We have fun stuff that you can enjoy on the run.
Yay.
And I whipped this stuff together really quickly last night to kind of give it a try. And we're going to do it here this morning in just a few minutes.
In real time.
Voila. Okay. The first thing we're doing is Chris Brothers turkey crescent rolls. Let's do this. Okay,
Sounds
so
good.
you know crescent rolls. We all love them as well.
Yep.
I've got a few laid out for us, Crystal. I've cut up some of the turkey deli meat from Chris Brothers. There's hickory flavor. There's regular flavor. I cut it in two. So, Crystal, you're just going to start stacking it. Stack 3 pieces. Yep, one at a time.
Yep. Okay. Oh, like stack 3 pieces onto the thing.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. We'll just stack 3 pieces onto our roll, just like that. Add a slice of cheese. It's going to be so good. And roll it up. Roll it up into
And this
your
is just,
roll.
you just got the crescent roll from the grocery store?
Yes, just from the grocery store when you're going to buy your Chris Brothers supplies. Boom. Just like that. And we'll do another one here. You can add your meat to it. I'll roll it up. Very simple. And the taste, when this comes out of the oven later and you get to try it, oh my
Oh, I know
goodness.
it's going to be good.
Flavorful. It's delicious. and it's wonderful. And you could use Chris Brothers ham if you wanted to in this, and there's also chicken.
Oh, crap, ding dang, I forgot to put the cheese in there.
Oh, the cheese, yes, we need to put the cheese in there. It's okay, it's still early. We need more coffee. There we go. So this is what really kicks it up a notch, Crystal. We're gonna take this, and then I'm going to put some butter, melted butter on top, just like that.
Yes.
On all of them. It just, oh, it's so good when it comes out so fresh. You really get the taste of the turkey in there too, which is yummy.
Okay, lunches.
Mm-hmm. Lunches, right?
Brunch.
Brunch. Yeah,
Totally.
you're right.
Yeah,
this is
love
a good
this.
brunch. This is a good brunch meal as well. But it's so good for kids. You know, kids on the run, there's hockey,
Definitely.
there's lacrosse, whatever you're up to, there's a lot on the go. Then we're going to put a bit of everything spice.
Awesome. You know, this could even be kind of like a breakfast on the run too. You got these cooked up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And like I said, there's Chris Brothers makes chicken in the deli meat packages, ham. So really, it's whatever flavor you're craving that day. Then we're going to pop this in the oven at 375 for about 16 minutes. But that's not all, Crystal. We're making more. I've got a pizza pasta salad because kids need some creativity, I think, when they want to eat, you know, bring their lunches to school. So this will be easy. So what we're going to do is, of course, it's like we're building a pizza, but with pasta. So I've got some cherry tomatoes chopped up here. Of course, we'll put in there. I have some sweet peppers we'll put in here as well. Think about what pizza toppings you like. Onions.
Okay, so you can take this in any direction you want.
Any direction. Some olives, whatever direction you want. Of course, the VIP, the star of the show, Chris Brothers pepperoni. I use mild. Perhaps you like hot pepperoni. Cut it up, put it in there. Maybe you want to use cheese pepperoni that Chris Brothers does. The flavors are endless. So then we'll stir it all. We'll stir it all up. We're going to add some Italian dressing to that. Give it lots of nice flavor.
This is very, very
really
easy.
nice, really light. So again, like you said, good for brunch, good for lunch, dinner on the run. If you already have this in your fridge, made up and ready to go.
Yeah,
lots of really good flavor. But you, like you said, you can use whatever toppings you'd like. It's like you're making a pizza.
Totally. Bring this to a barbecue.
Oh,
They're
good
like,
barbecue.
Bring something. I don't want to
Well, yeah, the long weekend is
fridge.
still coming, you know.
Yes.
So, Crystal, along with that, see, look how quick we all put this
it's
together.
all together. It's done.
And then over here to our right, but to our viewers' left, we've got these great little snacks that mom, dad, the whole family will enjoy. Apples, cheese, wrapped in Chris Brothers ham. And I used maple ham because I love something super, super sweet. And
cute.
I was reading that the trick to make the apple not start to turn brown is just to put a bit of lemon.
Okay,
Lemon
easy
on it.
peasy.
Yeah.
Okay, they look like a little,
little pocket,
like a little cute little, like a little bird sleeping in a sleeping bag.
Yes,
it's adorable. Okay, these are really
there
cute.
it is.
Isn't that
It's cute.
Oh my gosh.
Fun. I really like to bring the creativity, and you can do that with Chris Brothers products. You can get them anywhere you get your products, your groceries in Atlantic, Canada. Crystal, I'm popping this in the oven. Come back and try it later.
All right, we'll come back for a taste test. Okay, then I'll resist eating this, but say that one's mine.
Now, eat that one now.
Okay,
go ahead.
great.
Go ahead.
Okay, I will. Thank you. Over to you, Amanda. Snack time.
Thanks, ladies. I'll be there shortly. Now the medical news now. More doctors are using online patient portals, and researchers in the U.S. have some tips to increase the chances your message is seen. It's one of the topics in Your Health. A new study in the U.S. looked at more than 3 million patient portal threads. Researchers found that patient portal messages directly addressed to the doctor were more likely to get a response. Also, messages with expressive punctuation, like using multiple exclamation marks, also got better response rates. Many providers would suggest clear, concise messages, but in the study, longer messages were more likely to get passed along to the clinician they were intended for. The study was published in the journal JAMA Network Open. Finally, the new school year is fast approaching, and experts say it's worth easing kids back into a routine to get a good night's sleep. Preschoolers should get up to 13 hours of sleep, while tweens need between 9 and 12 hours. Teenagers do best with 8 to 10 hours of shut-eye. To get back on track, experts recommend setting earlier bedtimes a week or two before the first day of school, or gradually going to bed 15 to 30 minutes earlier each night.
We just have one milestone to pass along for you today. It is a 65th anniversary for Gloria and Fred Reed of Pictou County.
65 years.
Happy anniversary.
So great. Love that they got the photo on the beach.
All right, well, to see your milestone again or to find out how to submit one, visit our website by scanning the QR code on your screen. And a reminder that milestones must be received 2 weeks in advance. And the Guinness is out with its annual book of world records, and in it will be incredible achievements and inspiring stories from people from around the world.
Yep, but one of those people is a woman who has skateboarded her way into history at the age of 66. ABC's Danny New has her story.
Yeah! Look out, 66-year-old Judy Oyama is once again skating into history.
I actually feel like I'm skating more this last 2 years than I've skated forever.
As Guinness World Records 2027 drops in the U.S. today, this legendary speedster is being celebrated as the world's oldest female competitive skateboarder after extending a record she already held by 2 more years.
I remember seeing it at the library, and I'm very stoked. Right there.
This California native has been paving the way on the pavement for more than half a century. After, one day when she was 13, her brother made a skateboard in woodshop class and brought it home.
We tried it on the driveway, and I just kept skating, and we bought a board together. I never stopped.
Not soon after, in the 1970s and 80s, Judy emerged as a skateboarding pioneer. Not only was she inducted into the Skateboarding Hall of Fame in 2018, but a helmet she wore in 1976 has even been archived by the Smithsonian. You gotta just go for it. And obviously, she has not stopped since, even with the risk of potential injury.
How are you able to conquer that fear on 4 wheels?
Well, one, I don't think about falling.
But one thing that has kept Judy from retiring, she says, has really been finding a protege. This is 17-year-old Leola Kahaku, whom Judy has been mentoring for 2 years now. Last year at the International Slalom Skateboarding World Championships in Brazil, Judy placed 4th, and Leola took the gold at 1st overall. Judy said that moment made her year.
It's just been an amazing opportunity to watch someone like blossom.
And now, thanks in large part to that race, Judy and Leola have qualified for the World Skate Games in Paraguay this October, which will once again break and extend Judy's record some more. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
Taking another look at our 3-day forecast, 27 degrees today, mainly sunny skies for the province. We do have isolated showers returning for Moncton, though, into the afternoon. 26 degrees on Thursday, a mix of sun and cloud. A low chance of showers returns into the afternoon, and scattered showers end off the work week for the province, cooling down to 23. For Nova Scotia today, 26 with a mix of sun and cloud, isolated showers, a risk of thunderstorms into the afternoon. 26 on Thursday with sunshine across the province. And then on Friday, 22 degrees, sunshine for much of the province. We do have shower activity expected for the Tri-County area and evening showers across the province. For Prince Edward Island, 23 degrees today, mainly sunny. Isolated showers, a risk of thunderstorms into the afternoon. Sunshine across the island on Thursday with a high of 27. Cooling down just a bit, 25 on Friday, a mix of sun and cloud with evening showers.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
It's Wednesday, August 26th. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, New Brunswick's premier says the trade war has not reached a point where her province would stop supplying power to Maine. We'll have details ahead in your news headlines.
And a powerful conversation about home standby generators. We chat with a man whose family has been in the business for years about why he feels Cummins is the best out there. That conversation and more coming up this half hour on Your Morning Atlantic.
Hopefully you've poured a cup of ambition before working your 9 to 5. Shout out to Dolly Parton. What a country music icon and legend. If you missed the news, she passed away after a short battle with cancer at the age of 80 years old. Not only is the music world mourning her, but just it seems like everyone, at least everyone this is anecdotal, everyone we've been speaking with here, just devastated to hear such an icon, a kind person, a light in this world who gave back and was just iconic.
Oh, yeah.
With a fabulous singing voice, has passed away. We're so lucky that she shared her talents with the world.
Absolutely. And her kindness.
Her kindness, her generosity, her program, for the reading program for kids, which is so awesome.
Yes.
The piece that Genevieve Beauchemin did, CTV's Genevieve Beauchemin did, is very powerful. It tears me up every time.
I know. I couldn't stop listening to Jolene yesterday. I was like,
oh.
I know, it's so good.
Gosh.
I know. Your assignment today, if you haven't already, is to watch Steel Magnolias. I think that's Dolly Parton's best role.
I have not seen Steel Magnolias.
Really? Oh, seriously. You will love it. Her character, Truvy, is amazing. Oh, you'll love it.
Oh, I gotta
It's
check it
Dolly
out.
at her best. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do it. And that movie also will make you appreciate your life and your family a little bit more. It's beautiful.
Oh.
You could do that today, although it is pretty nice. You might want to get out and enjoy the day instead.
Absolutely. We are going to see sunshine even over in Digby. As of right now, it's a bit foggy and gloomy starting off your day. We are expecting that fog to continue to burn off, cloud coverage break down, seeing sunshine in your area a little bit later on. 16 degrees right now in Halifax, 15 in Yarmouth with 17 in Charlottetown, 16 degrees starting off your day in Moncton with 9 degrees in Labrador City and 17 over in Corner Brook. We do have sunshine for much of Atlantic Canada today, but still having some pop-up shower activity expected for parts of the region into the afternoon. Now for our wind forecast, remaining light for all 3 maritime provinces today. 15 kilometers per hour right now in North Cape with 13 in Moncton, 11 into Halifax and Truro. No wind gusts to report at this time. We'll take another look at your forecast just ahead. For us to look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. From makeup to smartphones and even kitchen appliances, we now know how the federal government will hit back against new U.S. tariffs and how it plans to support businesses and workers.
Canada will match the United States tariffs dollar for dollar, rate for rate.
Canada's counter tariffs are targeting $27.6 billion worth of American imports. Some of the U.S. sectors targeted include steel and aluminum, seafood and dairy, consumer goods, plastics, paper, and apparel. Electronics and appliances, along with agricultural equipment, also on the list. And the federal government announcing $7.5 billion in supports for Canadian workers and businesses. That includes expanding a number of federal loan and grant programs. Here in Atlantic Canada, New Brunswick's premier says she's still deciding the best course of action. Susan Holt says Canada's trade war with the U.S. has not reached a point where her province would stop supplying electricity to Maine.
Things would have to get really bad because that's an extremely serious measure to turn the power off to a community in northern Maine that have been our friends and neighbors for generations.
Instead, the Holt government is considering other less severe options to respond to Trump's tariffs. Everything from not allowing Americans to hunt for moose or fish salmon to no longer sending packaged lobsters south of the border. Holt says early estimates suggest 500 New Brunswick jobs alongside $112 million in New Brunswick goods will be affected by U.S. tariffs. To other news, Nova Scotia RCMP say a recent rescue call they got was like a scam. Just before 4 Monday afternoon, crews were called after receiving a third-party text message of someone having a medical emergency on Ingonish Beach. Police, EHS, fire, park services, and others rushed to help, but gave up after several hours of searching and finding nothing. Police now believe the entire call was phony, a case of so-called swatting. They are now focused on finding the person responsible. A 68-year-old man has been arrested and charged with burning down a century-old church on the Acadian Peninsula. Gilles Mallette of Saint-Simon was identified by RCMP as a suspect in the arson that destroyed the historic church in the community near Caracat. Firefighters arrived early Monday morning to find the building engulfed in flames. It took hours to put out the fire, but the building was lost and 4 others damaged. Mallette remains in custody. He's got a bail hearing scheduled for Friday in Bathurst. Finally, one of the most successful coaches in Maritime University sports history is calling it a career. Ness Timmins built the CBU women's soccer team from scratch into a perennial winner. However, CTV's Ryan McDonald reports his biggest impacts might go beyond the scoreboard.
This program doesn't exist without him.
But today, after 31 seasons and 14 Atlantic University Sport Championships, Stephen Timmins, everyone calls him Ness, told his players he will retire at the end of this season.
Well, it's just time. I've been at it a long time, and it's time for somebody else to take over.
Timmins built the program from the bottom up to become one of the most successful in any university sport in the entire country.
I'm sure some people only came to CBU back in the day because I told them where CBU was and what it was all about. But when we go across the country now, everybody, especially in the soccer circles, has heard about Cape Breton University.
Now, while the soccer pitch here is named after Ness Timmins, his crowning moment as a coach, the best of many, he says, didn't happen here. Rather, it took place on a cold November day back in 2007 in his hometown of New Waterford. That's when the Capers won their lone national title on home turf.
And that was a setup with a lot of backstories to it, but to win the first national championship for the school, you know, you have to remember that.
It's not just how good of a soccer player you are, he really cares about you as a person.
Timmins says he won't be going too far away in retirement. He plans to be here in the stands cheering the girls on.
Well, I'll miss the competitive drive that the girls bring and the energy to compete on the field. I mean, that's what it's about.
That's why he's hoping to add one more banner to the many on the wall here to cap a legendary career. Ryan McDonald, CTV News, Sydney.
Oh, well done.
Yep, super exciting. Love to see our local universities in the spotlight.
Yes, we do, and recognizing the athletes and the coaches.
Yes. Varsity sport. Woo! A big champion. Okay, 8:07, we're very happy to tell you that the Christmas Daddies calendars are now available at all Giant Tiger stores across the Maritimes. Here's a behind-the-scenes look at how the calendars were made at Advocate Printing. So each month features designs from children across the region. These calendars come alive at Advocate Printing, a local maritime company. And new this year is an exciting giveaway. If your purchase includes the prize-winning coupon page, you could win a $100 gift card from Giant Tiger. Very exciting.
Oh!
Look at how they're made. Look at that. There are $14 plus tax, but you get two $7 coupons inside, so basically the calendar pays for itself. And when you buy a calendar at any Giant Tiger location in the Maritimes, you are helping support Christmas Daddies, a charity near and dear to our hearts here at CTV.
Absolutely. I'm going to have to look out for them.
Fresh off the press.
This epic manufacturing music, too.
This is incredible.
It's awesome. It's a little bit Christmassy. Like, it's just perfect.
Magical.
Yes.
Oh, the 2027 calendars.
Yeah, it's a great calendar, too. It's my favorite for writing all the things in the squares. Like, it's really useful.
It is. It is. All right. Still ahead this half hour, we're going to be joined by CTV's Scott Hurst. He's going to be joining us with the latest reaction to Canada's retaliatory tariffs, to the U.S. tariffs. Also, too, we're going to tag along with a Cummins authorized dealer to talk about the benefits of owning a home standby generator. That segment's going to be coming up later this half hour, but as you can see, no skiing on this ski hill in PEI this morning. This sunny, hot forecast is next.
Good morning, Atlantic Canada. The time now is 8:11. We're taking a live look at the Highland Links. A beautiful day to head out and golf. We are seeing lots of sunshine early this morning. Temperatures will continue to rise. As of right now, though, 16 degrees as you head outdoors this morning. Weather is brought to you by Cummins Trusted Home Standby Generators. Still feeling a bit muggy, but not as bad as we saw into Tuesday's forecast. We are starting to see that humidity cool down just a bit, but still going to remain in the forecast for today. 19 degrees as of right now in Sydney, with 18 in Charlottetown, 16 degrees in Halifax, as well as into Fredericton, 12 degrees early this morning in Labrador City, 19 in Corner Brook, 20 degrees in St. John's, Newfoundland. Over to our forecast timeline. Had a bit of fog early this morning. Cloud coverage. We're starting to see that fog burn off. Cloud coverage begin to break down, leaving sunshine for much of Atlantic Canada today. We do have a bit of shower activity early this morning for parts of Labrador. Then into the afternoon, we will be seeing a chance of showers. A risk of thunderstorms return for parts of the Maritime region. Also seeing some shower activity return to parts of Newfoundland. For our daytime highs, going to remain a warm day ahead, especially when you factor in that humidex. Going to feel closer to 30 to 33 for parts of the Maritime region. And then into tonight, temperatures remain relatively warm. For our lows, we are going to see fog redevelop into the overnight hours and a chance of showers returning for parts of the region, but starting to clear out into early Thursday morning. Fog patches will burn off. We will be seeing lots of sunshine in the forecast for the Maritimes. Newfoundland and Labrador also going to see some sunshine return as well. If you're wondering about precipitation totals, only seeing around 2 to 5 millimeters for Charlottetown. Into Nova Scotia, 2 to 5 millimeters as well. We also see around 5 to 10 millimeters for North Mountain. Now, Newfoundland and Labrador are not really seeing accumulation with this system. For our forecast today for New Brunswick, daytime highs will range from 22 degrees up to 27 in Fredericton. Mainly sunny skies across the province today, although we do have some isolated showers and risk of thunderstorms expected to return for Moncton. For Prince Edward Island, lots of sunshine with mainly sunny skies across the island. We do have scattered showers and risk of thunderstorms expected into the afternoon. Highs will range from 23 to 24. For Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, much of the same. A mix of sun and cloud to start your day. We do have scattered showers and a risk of thunderstorms into the afternoon. Daytime highs between 22 to 25. For the rest of Nova Scotia, a mix of sun and cloud today. We do have isolated showers for mainland Nova Scotia into the afternoon, a risk of thunderstorms. Highs between 21 to 26, being the warmest into Shelburne. For Labrador City, 21 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud. A chance of showers returns into the afternoon. 22 for St. John's, Newfoundland. Showers have cleared out, leaving sunshine for the remainder of the day. That's a look at your weather. Going to throw things over to Amanda.
Thanks, Latavia. Time is 8:14. Canada's retaliatory tariffs on nearly 900 U.S. products are set to come into effect next month, marking the latest escalation in the trade war after the United States imposed new tariffs on Canada last week. For reaction and more details, we bring in CTV's Scott Hurst. Scott, how are industries reacting on both sides of the border to this?
Good morning, Amanda. As you might expect, this is not going over well south of the border, notably with U.S. President Donald Trump, as we saw him lash out several times yesterday on social media, taking aim at Canada's response and also getting into a very personal back and forth with Ontario Premier Doug Ford. Also, the White House slamming Canada's countermeasures as doubling down on tariffs targeting American workers. Industries on both sides of the border now bracing for higher costs, but ultimately with business and consumers caught in the middle. Canada is also enacting a $7.5 billion aid package for Canadians, businesses, really to mitigate the impact. But overall, it's not going over well with some prominent business groups in this country. The Canadian Federation of Independent Business said it appreciates that the government is trying to move quickly, but really says that these programs that were announced will be challenging for small business owners to figure out, let alone use. Also, the Canadian Chamber of Commerce, in its response to the aid package, says also it understands that the government is trying to deliver rapid aid, but pointed out that loans might be helpful, but they can also be a monkey on the back when they come due. And so, this is the reaction we're seeing really on both sides of the border as businesses, industries, and consumers are bracing for even more impact, Amanda.
Let's focus on the impact on the consumer now, Scott. What could this mean for the person watching at home right now?
Well, with Canadians already dealing with significant affordability concerns, those are already squeezing our paychecks. This trade war is just adding more stress and pressure ultimately to entire industries, businesses, all the way down to the consumer as the tariff is paid on an item coming into the country. Ultimately, everyone's trying to cover their costs, and it is the consumer who ends up paying more. Canada's counterpunch to American tariffs will go into effect in less than 2 weeks, and it ranges from 15% to 50% on some 700 American goods, matching U.S. tariffs dollar for dollar. Singling out steel and aluminum imports from the U.S. will now go from 25 to 50%, as will tariffs on furniture and clothing, but also some prominent notable items from the U.S. being hit with the 50% tax. Not just those big ticket items like steel and aluminum, but smaller everyday items that consumers are looking for, like perfumes and makeups, smartphones and milk products as well. So there's a wide range of products that will hit consumers, whether you're looking for big ticket items or some smaller consumer items. A lot of things will now cost more on both sides of the border, Amanda.
I know affordability already such an issue for so many Canadians. Scott, thank you for this morning.
Thanks, Amanda.
CTV Scott Hurst reporting live for us from our national newsroom in Toronto. Now it's back to the Your Morning Atlantic kitchen to check in with Suzette.
Smells good in here.
It sure does, Suzette.
It does. I hope you're hungry because we've prepared a little feast. As Crystal mentioned, you made a good point. This all works for brunch too.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. All works for brunch. So just a quick recap. We have here maple ham, Chris Brothers maple ham wrapped in cheese and Granny Smith apples. Delicious little snack, super cute, flavorful. And then we have the Chris Brothers turkey cheese croissant rolls, which is lovely. Dig into there if you want to try one.
Oh, yeah.
They look awesome. They smell awesome. I love the turkey. If turkey's not your thing, you don't want to try turkey, Chris Brothers makes ham. They have chicken. They have roast beef. You could put whatever you want in there.
Super cute.
The world is your oyster. And of course, ladies, I have our pizza pasta salad, which is fun. I think kids will really like this one. And we're using Chris Brothers mild pepperoni in this. But if you want a cheese pepperoni, you could use their cheese pepperoni or their hot pepperoni if you like hot peppers, right?
These crescent rolls are really yummy.
Oh my goodness, and so warm.
Oh, yummy. I know, I gotta get in there.
Is it fresh? They're fresh out of the oven.
Fresh out of the oven.
These little, like, cute little apple pockets. Little apple in a sleeping bag is also adorable, too.
I think they're cute, and I think it's a great snack, regardless of any age. If you're on the run, September is such a busy time of year for everybody, you know? You know, it's back to school, back to sports, extracurricular activities. University students, this is great if you're on the run going to class, too.
That's very cool.
And for people like us who work early shifts, here, there, and everywhere.
Is that cheese in there?
Yes, that's a Monterey Jack cheese in there. Just to add a little pizzazz.
Ooh, bring this to your next barbecue.
Oh, of course.
And for people who are just waking up and haven't seen your segments before, where the heck do you get Chris Brothers?
You can get Chris Brothers products anywhere you get your groceries in Atlantic Canada. We love it. Big fans over here. All right, time to dig in. I'm going to enjoy one of these too.
Please do.
Yeah.
So flavorful. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
All right, we are going to take a little break. Give us a chance to finish up the tasting. Amanda, get on in here. We'll be back to continue with our show in about 2 minutes. It is generator season, and today we're going to talk about Cummins home standby generators. I'm joined by Jordan Chandler, who is a certified authorized dealer of Cummins. And what I love about you in particular, Jordan, is that you have been in the generator business with your family like since you were a little kid.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
And so when you were a kid, your dad would go install generators and such, and he learned a thing or two along the way. And it turns out that in your experience, Cummins is the best to work with.
Yes, that's what we believe. We think that the Cummins has fewer issues, and they have the best customer support and training staff of all the generator manufacturers, in North America.
That's fantastic. So when you want to get a Cummins home standby generator, you call or go on the email, and then you'll be put with the authorized dealer in your area. You serve PEI exclusively, but
that's correct,
there's many other fine people in your line of work. And when you get a Cummins generator, there's the installation process. What does that look like?
Getting at the ground level, some gravel, a concrete base, as you can see here, in place of the generator. And then the next step is our labor with getting the propane or natural gas connected to the generator, electrical wiring of the generator from here to the house. And that's really it.
And then that's not over at that point, though.
Yeah.
That's the cool thing. With Cummins, you get this monitoring system that really gives the customer complete peace of mind. Explain how that works.
Yes, it's a fantastic feature. Cummins has a remote monitoring app that a customer or homeowner and the local dealer can monitor the generator 24/7. You get emails, text message notifications if there's any issues with the generator, you need any maintenance, you can stop and start the generator. There's a whole bunch of features included with the app.
Well, the thing about a generator, I know that in my life, the thing is you don't want to have to think about it, right? So the cool thing about the Cummins system is if there's an issue, for example, if it needs oil or maintenance or there's some issue with it, you will be notified, the dealer will be notified, and tell them about the time that the people are on vacation, they had an issue and they never even knew about it.
Yeah, well, it actually happens more times than you'd think. Power goes out, we have homeowners on vacation, maybe down south for the winter. We're notified that the generator, for whatever reason, didn't start. We are there to fix it, or fix the issue before the customer even knew that, the generator wasn't working on that day.
That's fantastic, and when you call the number or you log into the app, like a real person
shows up and they're there to help you and answer all your questions. Okay, the thing that first question I would have is, what size generator do I need? So this is the typical look of a generator, but the power inside changes based on the customer's needs?
Yes, you got it right, Physically, the physical size of a Cummins generator is this, regardless of the size or kilowatts of it. But a 20 kilowatt, we found in Atlantic Canada anyway, is sufficient for most homeowners to power their whole entire house and operate the house as normal.
Sure. Okay, so we just go on and you could live your life just regardless of the storm or the power outage conditions or whatnot. But some people do need a bigger generator because they might have a larger home, or they're all exclusively electric heat, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You'd figure that out.
Yeah, so often the first step in the process is, after we were speaking with someone interested in a Cummins generator, is go to their house, visit, do an assessment, and make a recommendation on the size of generator that would best suit their needs.
Okay, I just want to draw attention to one more thing, which is something that you've discovered in your vast experience of installing generators for so many years. This stand, why is that important in Atlantic Canada?
Well, in Atlantic Canada, as you know, we do get a lot of snow in the winter. And these generators can be buried in snow if people are not, shoveling the snow around them. So getting them off the ground has eliminated a significant amount of issues we've had, and therefore happier homeowners that own the generator, because their generators are working in the storms.
Yeah, because you know your customer, you know what they need. This is fantastic. All right, well, Jordan, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you for having me.
I learned a lot about generators, and if you want to find out more about Cummins home standby generators, simply go to the website we put on the screen. You'll be directed to the dealer in your area. If you want to get Jordan, you have to either live or move to PEI.
Still ahead this half hour on Your Morning Atlantic. Bulls, Bronx, and Barrels. Saddle up. We're getting details on this year's exciting Cape Breton Pro Rodeo. That's in the last 30 minutes of Your Morning Atlantic.
We're bringing you in with us. Time now is 8:30. Midweek. We're almost there.
We're
making our way through. This helps. A Cape Breton Pro Rodeo. Sign me up.
I know. And there's a contest coming up. People, do stay tuned.
Exciting.
Our guest came in with a bunch of hats.
I know.
That looked like a lot of fun.
Really?
Yes.
Crystal.
I was telling Donna behind the scenes, I'm like, this might be my first cowboy hat.
Really? I love wearing cowboy
boots,
hats.
but I don't have a cowboy hat.
Oh, I do love wearing a cowboy hat. It's one of my favorite hats. Yes.
Iconic.
And cowboy boots. I actually have a little, spot in my heart for the Western look. Really love it.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yes.
I'm a big fan of country music, so.
Yeah. Well, gosh, of course. Anyway, lots of fun. Can't wait. Pro rodeo, no less. This is the
big deal.
Is the big deal.
Shebang.
We saw some video of Alan Doyle too, so I want to know how he's involved, because he's fantastic.
Great concerts, part of the rodeo.
Yes.
There's my favorite double-decker. Oh, there's a bird. That's good luck. Remember when we see a bird on the live flag? Good luck, everybody.
Yeah, King Square in Uptown St. John, top of King Street.
Yeah.
A lot of people out this morning for a stroll. A bit of a foggy start to the day. We're going to see lots of sunshine in your area a little bit later on as that cloud coverage begins to break down. 16 degrees in your area as of right now, 18 in Charlottetown with 19 in Sydney, 16 degrees in Halifax, and 20 in St. John's, Newfoundland. We do have sunshine for much of Atlantic Canada today as cloud coverage breaks down, fog burns off, but we do have precipitation returning, some pop-up showers expected into the afternoon, a risk of thunderstorms as well. And for our wind forecast, remaining light for all three maritime provinces today, 20 kilometers per hour in Canso, 11 into Charlottetown, Sydney, and Moncton. No wind gusts to report at this time, though. We'll take one last look at your forecast just ahead. First, one last look at your local news with Amanda.
Thanks, Satavia. We now know how Ottawa will hit back against new U.S. tariffs and how it plans to support businesses and workers.
Canada will match the United States tariffs dollar for dollar, rate for rate.
Canada's counter tariffs are targeting $27.6 billion worth of American imports. Some of the U.S. sectors targeted include steel and aluminum, seafood and dairy, consumer goods, plastics, paper and apparel, electronics and appliances, along with agricultural equipment on the list. Ottawa also announcing $7.5 billion in supports for Canadian workers and businesses that include expanding a number of federal loan and grant programs. Meantime, here on the East Coast, New Brunswick's premier says she is still deciding the best course of action. Susan Holt says Canada's trade war with the U.S. has not reached a point where her province would stop supplying electricity to Maine.
Things would have to get really bad because that's an extremely serious measure to turn the power off to a community in northern Maine that have been our friends and neighbors for generations.
Instead, the Holt government is considering other less severe options to respond to Trump's tariffs, everything from not allowing Americans to hunt for moose or fish salmon to no longer sending packaged lobster south of the border. Holt says early estimates suggest 500 New Brunswick jobs alongside $112 million in New Brunswick goods will be affected by U.S. tariffs. And the fallout from the expanding trade war has some maritime businesses, like Mrs. Dunster's in Sussex, preparing for what may come next.
I've been down to Mexico a few times trying to open up some opportunities down there. And we're also always on the lookout for potential acquisition opportunities. So it's really not about shrinking our U.S. business, because our U.S. business is pretty robust right now, but it's really about making sure we're not overly dependent on it.
Moose at Breweries in St. John says the decision to target Canadian beer with a 50% tariff creates an immediate and serious challenge. The company says it will not shift production to a U.S. facility to bypass duties. In a statement saying, "We've been selling Moosehead in the U.S. for almost 50 years, and we've built an incredibly loyal American customer base. But navigating a 50% tariff puts a massive burden on our ability to compete fairly in the U.S. market." Finally, a trio of Nova Scotia nurses are being lauded for their quick and professional actions in an unlikely place, a plane bound for Toronto. The trio all work at the Valley Regional Hospital. They were on vacation on the commercial flight back in May when a fellow passenger became ill and passed out. The crew asked for medical assistance, and the three sprang into action, relying on their training and experience to help the woman.
It was like a normal afternoon flight. Got on the flight, maybe like 10 minutes into the takeoff, they sent like a request for any nurses or doctors overhead. So Carly and I first initially got up.
When we used the blood pressure cuff that was available to us, we noticed that it was low. When we looked into the medical care equipment, we noticed there was an IV. So we were like, well, there's no harm in inserting an IV and giving her some fluids if she has no medical history. So that's exactly what we did. Where there was no tourniquet, Abby actually made a handmade tourniquet and just put her hands around the patient's arms, and I was able to get an IV, and we initiated 2 500 ml boluses.
I think that we had all kind of realized that being a nurse kind of means you're on call all the time, and it takes a special person to do that. And I think that's why it felt normal to us, because it just did feel like a day at work, and it felt like something that was very natural to us to step up to help her.
Now, the patient, who's a woman from Ontario, she was rushed to hospital in Toronto and later wrote this thank you letter to the nurses expressing her gratitude. And the woman says the women all say it was an experience they will never forget. Also, 2 Abbies and a Carly were the nurses.
I'm so glad they were able to help. They were there, yeah.
Oh, the training just kicks in no matter where you are. So wonderful that they could all just work together, representing the Valley Regional Hospital too, up in Kentville. So it's nice to see that.
We appreciate our healthcare workers. We appreciate our first responders too.
Yeah.
And a fire department out west is welcoming a new member, but this one has 4 legs, a big heart, and 1 important job.
Phil is trained to recognize when one of our giants is struggling under the weight of the sky, when the rest of us see somebody just walking underneath.
So Phil is an occupational stress intervention dog, and he was officially sworn in during a ceremony this week. Phil will be supporting firefighters after traumatic calls, during emergency operations center activations, emergency support service events, and at group lodging sites. So his new role was made possible through a partnership with BC and Alberta guide dogs.
Oh, what a good boy.
I know.
Oh my gosh, I just want to pet him.
I know.
Yes.
He's dewy but blonde.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see why I love him so much. Yeah. And you can pet him when he takes his vest off. Yeah.
No.
But great job. It was so important to support our first responders because that is a very stressful job.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah, I'm happy to hear. And I just love that we get to see an animal on the show.
Yes, welcome to the workforce, Phil.
All right, now we're going to talk about the community calendar, highlighting some more events taking place. The St. John Sea Glass Festival returns this week. You can come out and join the celebration of all things sea glass, featuring vendors from across the Maritimes. The event runs from August 28th until the 29th. For additional details, head over to their Facebook events page. And a yard sale will be held in Stratford this upcoming weekend on August 29th and the 30th. You can come out and shop great finds. The yard sale will run from 8 a.m. until 3 p.m. and all proceeds raised will go towards Our Lady of Assumption Parish Hall. And you still have time this week to see a Shakespeare by the Sea production. Head over to Point Pleasant Park to see one of their incredible performances. You can come out and check out either Beauty and the Beast, a fairy tale game show musical, Julius Caesar, or the unrehearsed Hamlet. An incredible outdoor production you won't want to miss. Score some tickets, head over to their website. And if you have an upcoming event, send us the details. We'd love to promote it. Your Morning Atlantic at ctv.ca.
I love Shakespeare by the Sea's logo too, where they've got like Shakespeare's face, but with the cool sunglasses.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
looking so
awesome.
It's really good. If you haven't been, treat yourself. It's wonderful.
It is a fun experience. Okay, we're gonna have another break. Latavia has another look at the forecast on this Wednesday, but this is another fun experience you can partake in. Grab your cowboy boots and the hat, because we're heading off to the rodeo. The Cape Breton Pro Rodeo is only 1 month away, and we're gonna get all the details, including how you can get tickets and how you want to reserve a spot in your calendar right now. It's coming up.
Good morning, Atlantic Canada, and welcome back. The time now is 8:43. Taking a live look at Tangier. 18 degrees to start your day. A bit of a cloudy start to the day, though, but we are expecting sunshine a little bit later this morning with some isolated showers and a risk of thunderstorms returning into the afternoon. All right, well, weather is brought to you by Cummins, trusted home standby generators. 18 degrees right now in Charlottetown, 19 heading outdoors in Sydney, 16 degrees in Fredericton, 12 degrees in Labrador City, 20 into St. John's, Newfoundland. Over to our forecast timeline. We have lots of sunshine in the forecast today. I know you can see that I'm wearing my beautiful cowboy hat. All right, well, as the sunshine continues across the region, we do have some pop-up shower activity into the afternoon. A chance of showers, a risk of thunderstorms for parts of the Maritime region. Newfoundland, Labrador also dealing with a bit of wet weather, but going to remain quite light in its activity. And then into tonight, temperatures remain relatively warm, still holding on to humidity within the Maritimes. And shower activity will clear out for early Thursday morning as we see the return of sunshine into our forecast for tomorrow. In terms of our rainfall outlook, only seeing an additional 2 to 5 millimeters for parts of Prince Edward Island into Nova Scotia. Heaviest for North Mountain at 5 to 10 millimeters. Newfoundland, Labrador still remaining quite light in its activity. For forecast today for New Brunswick, daytime highs will range from 22 to 27. Mainly sunny skies for much of the province. We do have some isolated showers expected for Moncton into the afternoon. A risk of thunderstorms as well. And then for Prince Edward Island, daytime highs between 23 to 24. Mainly sunny skies across the island today, but scattered showers. The risk of thunderstorms is expected to move back into the afternoon. Same thing goes for Cape Breton Island, eastern mainland Nova Scotia. Daytime highs between 22 to 25. A mix of sun and clouds to start. Scattered showers, a risk of thunderstorms into the afternoon. And then for the rest of Nova Scotia, a mix of sun and clouds today. Isolated showers, a risk of thunderstorms into the afternoon for mainland Nova Scotia with highs between 21 to 26. For Labrador City, 21 degrees today, starting off the day with sunshine, seeing a chance of showers move back into the afternoon. 22 degrees for St. John's, Newfoundland, periods of drizzle already beginning to clear out, though, leaving a mix of sun and cloud in your area. All right, now we're going to tip things over to Crystal.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it. The first ever International Cape Breton Pro Rodeo is heading to Sydney next month, and this is a party you are not going to want to miss. To share the details, we welcome Kevin Bushy, the organizer with our partners at the Cape Breton Pro Rodeo. Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning.
Great to have you in here.
Thanks for having me.
Now, they say that, you know, this is not your first rodeo, but in a way, since it's a pro rodeo, it really is the first rodeo.
It is for Cape Breton, yes, indeed. It's going to be Cape Breton's Wild this weekend.
It sure will. Tell us more details about this.
Well, we've got an international pro rodeo coming to Sydney Cape Breton at Center 200. We've got international bull riders coming in from all over the world. We've got 4 incredible events geared up, saddle bronc bull riding, and a great event called Gymkhana. And Gymkhana is one of those, it's one of my favorite events. It's, you got a guy that's in the ring and he's standing, and you've got another one on a horse, and they come around and they have to exchange. So the one guy jumps off the horse and the other guy jumps on, all as the horse is running.
Come on.
It's unbelievable.
Oh, that would be, to see that live, oh, that would be incredible. Okay, let's talk a bit about the entertainment. You've really outdone yourself with the acts that are going to be playing at this show.
We think so. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, on the Thursday night is our kickoff East Coast Kitchen Party with, we're featuring Sam Roberts Band headlining this year, and the unbelievable Adam Baldwin.
Yes.
And then, of course, Mary Frances Leahy, who is the daughter of Danelle Leahy and Natalie McMaster, and she's phenomenal. And then Friday night, we've got High Valley headlining with Doc Walker, and then Saturday night, the incredible Alan Doyle.
Yeah, no, those, I mean, there's our buddy Adam Baldwin. Yeah, Alan Doyle always puts on a great show, certainly synonymous with party and getting the crowds riled up. Let's talk about opportunities for people to just make a weekend out of it. I understand that there might be, there's some camping options for people.
Absolutely. We've got some RV camping available, so you can bring your RV, come up and stay for the weekend. We've got full weekend passes available. We got daily passes available, and we also have event passes available. So if you just want to check out rodeo or the concert, we've got a lot of flexibility in the passes.
Yeah, different levels of tickets too. I hear there's a VIP experience as well.
Yeah, there's like $380 for the whole entire weekend, which is incredible.
Just like everything you want. Okay,
everything.
So let's just talk about this event. So this is the first pro rodeo for Sydney area. Very, very, very exciting. What sets apart this rodeo experience from others?
Well, it's a sanctioned event, which is kind of important in the rodeo world. I mean, a lot of people anticipate coming to a rodeo and thinking it's a backyard rodeo. This is not. These are professional riders, professional athletes. The Cowboys are absolutely phenomenal. They're the rock stars of the show. Wow. And, you know, having it being sanctioned and international, it separates us from all the rest of them.
That's what an opportunity.
Yeah, it's
like to seriously go to Sydney. I mean, in our region, this is a very special chance to see some awesome stuff. What's the name of the event with the switching again?
Gymkhana.
The Gymkhana.
Or the exchange, they call it too.
The Gymkhana exchange.
Yeah.
I need to see that. Also, the merch is incredible. Will that be available?
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah, definitely want this. Yeah. Fantastic. Where do we go for tickets, Kevin?
You can go to CapeBretonProRodeo.ca and get your tickets available there. And there's a few left, and they're moving fast. And we've got food trucks. We've got all kinds of...
Yeah, speak to the food. That's always a highlight.
So one thing about International Rodeo is the food selection. So we've opened it up to all kinds of different food trucks. You're going to have vendors available as well, and you're going to have Western wear retailers there that are going to be selling their goods. And, you know, we're going to have Coldstream's Mechanical Bull on site. So if you feel like you want to dip into the bull riding extravaganza, come on. Yeah.
Are you, wow, great job, Kevin. I can't wait to head out there. You don't need to twist my arm to get to Cape Breton. All right, let's talk about a contest, too. If you're ready to rodeo after a great chat with Kevin, here you go. Check out this contest we got running on CTV News, and it's one lucky viewer will win a full package of tickets to the Cape Breton Pro Rodeo, 3 nights at the Simon Hotel, Sydney, and a $500 Coldstream gift card. You do not want to miss out on your chance to saddle up for fun. Scan that QR code or go to ctvnewsatlantic.ca. And of course, we put the website for the rodeo on our website to make it easy for you. Time to take a break. It's 8:49. We'll be back to wrap up our show right after this.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
We are very much obsessed with these hats. They are so much fun. Yeah, they've got a toggle.
The toggle, so this is super practical for like a windy day. You know, I love this.
Fun.
I'm gonna wear this out on the boat.
Go on the boat, yes, on your big yacht.
Well, yes, my yacht bedeck.
Okay, before we hop on trigger, we're going to let you know about the Move Morning Chat. We are asking you about what was an unexpected highlight of your summer season so far. And you guys had some really lovely experiences. We're so happy you shared them with us. Let's start with Miriam from St. John's. Unexpected summer highlight was ziplining and rafting down the Badger Chute in Grand Falls, Windsor.
Okay, that's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
I've always wanted to do that.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Okay.
On the list.
Now that one's obviously been added to the list. Good job. You are brave. Lee said we did a spur-of-the-moment 3-hour kayak on the Country Harbor River with friends, then did an ATV trip up a hill to watch the sunset.
Oh, wow.
Great unplanned adventure. They are the best.
That sounds really good.
Oh, yeah, that's incredible.
We have some brave outdoor ladies texting us this morning. Good on you. Next up.
Wait, she shared her photo.
Yes, wait, there's the photo.
Gorgeous.
Wow, that's...
The water looks like glass.
That's beautiful.
Just, you can imagine the sound of the water there on your kayak.
Magical.
Nothing like it. Next up, we have Candace from Cape Breton, unexpected, running into Crystal in Inverness, the Nova Scotia Mi'kmaq Summer Games with my girl and my bestie crushing her first Ironman.
Wow.
Good on her friend.
I was going to actually...
Look at that.
Yeah, that's amazing.
There you are, Crystal.
Yay. I was going to share my photo of Candace as my unexpected highlight of the summer, too.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too funny.
It's so fun. I mean, Candace, we appreciate you writing in every day, and you're so beautiful.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Like, gorgeous.
And always running, too.
Yeah.
She's
incredible.
Like, oh, we love
how
her.
many marathons now?
You.
Yeah. Next up, we have this text from our viewer. Karen in Wolfville, Nova Scotia's Annapolis Valley. An unexpected highlight of the summer was a friendship with a young couple near me. Oh, that's like me, Karen. We met when we had a house fire in March when they stopped by and offered to help get my house pets out of the house.
Oh, my goodness.
We're now friends. And she comes over a couple times a week to harness and drive my draft horses.
Aww.
Oh, Karen, well, we are so sorry to hear that you had a house fire. It's like that old quote from, was it Mr. Dressup or Mr. Rogers? You know, look for the people who are helping.
Absolutely, yeah.
In these dark times. And it sounds like you made some wonderful new relationships.
But on an up note, she has draft horses.
Yes,
I want to go visit Karen.
She has sent us photos of her draft horses, too. They're beautiful.
Oh, wow.
Mo from Bathurst, I got my moose license through a draw.
Woo!
Also, too, one of our loyal viewers, Mo in Bathurst, feel like I know him so well now, too. I feel like that is not shocking that he got his moose license.
Yeah.
He's a
like
very
that country
outdoorsy
song.
guy.
Hunting, fishing.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Being outside. Yeah, so thank you to everyone who took a moment, and we're so glad that you had some great moments this summer and hope the rest of it is just as wonderful.
I'm going to think of a couple more. You know what I was at unexpected? It was actually of the whole spring, I guess, but Helene, at Bruce Suji and Helene.
Yeah, Port Morion Wildlife.
The Port Morion Wildlife, watching the nest.
Eagle cam.
Watching the cam, like, the egg actually turned into an eagle, then that turned into like a baby, then a big eagle, and we watched her.
How long ago was it that she flew away? A month ago?
Yeah. I know. Wild. Control room. Would you like us to keep it waxing poetic on the summer, or do you want to go to the last laugh? Your choice. Okay. What do you want to do? Last laugh or more chit chat? We got 45 seconds of fun.
Let's just talk a little bit more.
Yay. Okay.
Yeah. You know what's another thing unexpected highlight this summer? I mentioned getting to know my neighbor more and going for walks. Loving kale. I've been using, and I got Crystal on this bagged kale, and it's so good.
Girl, kale has been amazing.
Well,
for a long time. I'm glad you're on the wagon.
Yes. Her kale recipe is delicious.
A different taste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's all about like how it's served, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And like you said, in a smoothie, chef's kiss.
Oh
Yes.
Don't put your nose up at a green smoothie.
Hell yeah. That's the end of our show. Yeehaw. Have a great day.